All right, here we go. And welcome to Hot Comics Plopcast number 21 with your host, Comic Book Girl 19.
Hello, and with me, as always, is T-Bone and Captain Kirk.
What's going on, guys?
Hi, how's it going?
21, we're drinking age now.
Yeah, Plopcast is officially able to drink now.
Oh, that's right, yeah. We're there.
That probably explains a couple of hangovers today.
And I'm totally hungover. How do you guys feel? We were at a birthday party last night.
I definitely
feel great.
Knocked back some whiskey after work last night.
Okay, so that's the warm-up. All right, we've got a lot of topics to talk about.
Yes.
We have this messy piece of paper, and we're going to try to explain what they are. Mm-hmm. We just spent the last 5 hours setting up this set here.
Yeah.
It's looking good.
That was awesome.
Technically, everything should be functioning.
Hopefully.
All right, so we're going to talk about a bunch of comic books, I'm sure, towards the end.
Got some comics. Well, we can fit in. We got a lot of other...
We haven't talked about stuff in a long time.
I know. We've had a lot of stuff going on, so it's been...
There's been some movies that have come out that we need to go over.
Yeah, a lot of
We're
movies.
Responsible.
Yes.
A lot of movies.
We got to talk about Edge of Tomorrow. We got to talk about Days of Future Past.
Yes.
You guys are going to do a little Godzilla talk, maybe.
Maybe a
Godzilla.
little Godzilla.
Yeah.
I just have a couple of comments about Godzilla.
Yeah, we're really late on those things, so we got to do this. But I'm excited to talk about HBO shows that we've been watching.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Besides just Game of Thrones.
Besides Game of Thrones, yes.
Because Silicon Valley is awesome.
Yeah, Silicon Valley is
Mike
so
Judge.
good.
And my new favorite show is that John Oliver show. We're going to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. It's a good one.
We'll talk about some movie news and, all the stories
All the
that are
goings
going
on. There's a lot of goings on.
A whole bunch.
So what are we going to start with, T-Bone?
The intro.
Hey!
Ready? And go.
Now what you gonna do with it? I want that work in your face. Better have my money where it comes. Pay up. You better have my money where it comes.
Yes.
I wanna do the thing right, they're gonna do a job.
Yeah, that is my favorite part. He pulls out the guns. So that is Stitches, the new hot rapper on the streets, I guess.
The new hot rapper on YouTube, Stitches.
We
Now, is
found out
he
about
from
this yesterday.
Hotlanta?
Stitches. Huh?
Is he from Hotlanta?
No, Miami.
Oh, Miami. That should have been my guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to play this because this guy, I don't believe that he's real. He's like a cartoon character. He's so fantastic. He's like
so
a tattoo
fantastic.
of guns on his face.
Yeah.
I'm totally on
Stitches
his
on his
Instagram.
mouth.
He's real.
No, I think
Yeah,
he's
I'm
designed
following
by...
him, man.
This guy's designed by a concept artist. He looks like somebody out of Mad Max film.
Well, I found out.
He's too perfect
I went
to be
on his
real.
Twitter, or not his Twitter. I went on his Instagram. He's got an Instagram.
It's a real Instagram.
At Stitches_TMI. And it says, yes, I'm 18. So I think that...
And he's 18 too?
For that clears it up.
What?
Because he's a kid. He's like an 18-year-old kid who's like doing crazy shit because he's fucking 18. So he is a comic book character, He's like...
Yeah. To be fair, I mean, I can't really tell what he is in this. There's Pinhead in this
here's
video,
yeah,
too?
that's the best part of this video. I like Pinhead.
Yeah.
Especially when Pinhead is like throwing all the cocaine in the air and like, I'm a ghost and I'm a demon and I also get this, that.
Yeah.
Getting high.
I mean, I'm not even a fan of rap music at all, but I love this guy.
He's awesome.
I
Well,
love him.
he's so over the top. It's so much fun.
I want to draw him.
Yeah, I know. I do too. I was just
He
telling
loves
Kirk
selling
that.
it.
I've already decided, we were talking before, and I was like,
loves selling blood.
I want to be Stitches at Dragon Con this year.
Yeah. But I guess I want to be a Pinhead then, and I'll be Pinhead with a thing on my bag of coke.
I can have 2 AKs.
Yeah.
I'll just be the bag of cocaine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
I'm just gonna cosplay as
That
a
would
bag
work
of
But
cocaine.
you should have a whole bunch of like a bunch of bricks, you
Yeah,
all
totally.
stacked up.
Because one of his lines in his music video, he doesn't need your money from this music video because he made all his money from selling drugs.
Yeah, he has drug money. He does not need a rap check.
Right. Which is why it's okay if we're kind of selling him out right now. 'Cause he doesn't need it.
He's good. He's good. He's fine.
I kind of like the fact that like most drug dealers I know are like, don't worry, I've got friends. Because I got drugs.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. I know nothing of the world. But anyway, we shouldn't spend all our time talking about something that's completely off topic.
So.
All right. So what do we want to start on today, guys?
Ant-Man?
Okay. Let's do
Yeah,
Ant-Man.
okay. We'll start with some movie news. What's topical?
All right. So as we all know, Edgar Wright left the project.
I has a sad.
Yeah, creative differences were cited. He had a script. He had to rewrite the script. Then they took that script and then they gave it to some asshat who ruined it or something because I don't know. And he was like, I don't believe in this film anymore, so I just can't make it. And he backed away, and I respect that.
Totally.
I mean, I can't believe that they didn't trust him enough to just kind of carry through his vision. The only reason this movie got started was because he had a vision and came to them and was like, hey, I got this idea.
People don't know who Edgar Wright is. What are some movies he's made?
Scott Pilgrim, and he did the
Pilgrim.
entire trilogy as far as Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead,
World's End,
and then he also, please go check it out, the TV show that he did that I am now blanking on BBC. Crap.
Right.
Spaced. because I was blanking out. Spaced.
But World's End, I loved. That was the last one of his films I saw.
Yeah.
And then Scott Pilgrim, I loved that style.
Well, yeah, when I saw Scott Pilgrim,
that kind
I was
of
like,
energy into a Marvel film would be so great.
I know, that's what I said when I saw that film. I was like, I wish I wish he would make an X-Men film.
Yeah, why not?
Because the way he was doing powers was so much fun.
Well, I mean, especially because Scott Pilgrim was a really fun, high-concept comic book that dealt with serious issues, but like the movie never lost the fun part of the comic.
And that's the thing that I liked the most about Scott Pilgrim was just you could tell how much fun he was having, and that is what I would like to see more of in comic book movies. Is fun. And
Stitches.
And somebody on Twitter said, "Well, should we even care about an Ant-Man movie to begin with?" And I said to him, I was like, we should care about Edgar Wright's Ant-Man because he had a really great idea and a vision, and he wanted to do something really different and really fun, and that we would have all enjoyed. But now that he's gone and that vision's gone, then I don't really think that there's
I think in 30 years,
excited.
I cannot wait for the documentary Edgar Wright's Ant-Man.
Yeah, right.
Why do we have to wait that long? Make it now.
Yeah. So they've apparently they've had. Oh, and do you want to explain the concept of the Ant-Man film?
Oh, Ant-Man was going to be like a British caper film.
Yeah.
Because they had Hank Pym in it, but it was going to be Hank Pym in his later years, which I think is going to be played by Michael Douglas.
Wait. I don't know anything about Ant-Man.
Nothing about Ant-Man?
Tell me the basics.
Okay.
What's
Ant-Man is first and foremost an Avenger. He's Hank
Scientist.
Pym. And he's one of the big brains in Marvel, and
he
created.
What's the deal? He shrinks, it grows big. Which one?
Yeah,
is it?
he created Pym particles, and Pym particles can help you grow big or small.
Yeah.
And because of these Pym particles, he has also had many different costume identities.
Yeah.
Okay.
When Ant-Man wasn't working, I think Giant Man was a thing.
Yeah, he did Giant Man, and
I think he was also Yellow Jacket.
He's also the first wife beater in the Marvel universe. He was beating on the Wasp.
Yeah, Janet.
Yeah.
That's always been a thing.
Yeah.
So has he touched some controversial topics there?
Yes, that's what they've used him for.
But they weren't going to have. He wasn't going to be Ant-Man because there's been a couple different Ant-Mans as well.
And I think they were going to use, instead of Hank Pym as the main Ant-Man, they were going to use the other guy who is now Ant-Man in the comic books, and I forgot his name. I should look this stuff up.
Well, anyway, people that love comics,
the
do you guys were you excited about just the character, not the movie or not Edgar Wright, but were you excited about seeing Ant-Man?
Yes.
No, I wasn't.
Really?
I wasn't. But I was excited when I heard about Edgar Wright being like, I have this big idea, and then I was like, oh, well, then if somebody's got some badass idea that they're really excited about, then
this excitement came 6 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
6 years ago is when
he was working on this for 6 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, that's
2000.
That's
this
a real
isn't
shame.
just like, oh, we've got an idea for a film, and 9 months
Or wait,
later
was it 6 years ago, or was it in 2006?
I want to say 6 years ago.
Okay.
Is it really too late? Could we rally and get him back on the film?
I don't know.
One of the sad things is, again, because he's loves his craft, and I really do respect him as an artist more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
He really did kind of pioneer the whole quick edit trick that a lot of films use now.
Mm-hmm.
Which quick edit trick? What do you mean?
Where it's you just see a succession of things happen really, really, really quickly. It's really cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know
I'll
exactly
show
what
you
you're
an
talking
example
about.
of it. But he posted on his Twitter a picture of Buster Keaton with one of the ice cream cones in his hand from his trilogy. And I think it was kind of this thing about how Buster Keaton, even in his later years, said that he really regretted signing a contract with a bigger movie studio, and for the money sacrificed all his creative freedom.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, it's
it's a good move that he pulled out. I applaud him for doing that, because it's why would you want to have your name on something that
you don't believe in?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want to do that.
Even though he put 6 years into it, it must have been a really hard decision.
I know, I'm sure it was. And now they can't find a director. How many directors
they
have
have
they
a
gone
director
through?
now, but we're going to go through the whole thing, really.
Yeah, and there's another thing I want to say. It's who would want to sign on to that? We're going to start shooting in a week.
I know.
Read the script real quick.
I know. Where's Brett Ratner?
Yeah. Amy Dolan, Amy had the greatest tweet and said something along the lines of, finding a new director for Ant-Man is like trying to find a new bride because you still have the church rented out for the wedding.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I think that's a pretty accurate assessment of the situation.
Yeah. And so they went through...
I guess they got to do it, though, because it's going to all lead up to Avengers 3 or something.
Yeah, but
So
I
it's
don't
all
think
tied into their big core story.
have to. I mean, Ant-Man could be fine without his own solo movie.
Well,
you could just put him in if you really wanted to put him in.
I think they have to continue with their plans to make the movie because it's tied in so much to the rest of the universe.
I don't doubt Marvel doing like the great experiment of, okay, we're gonna make the film, but let's tie it into the universe just enough that if nothing really works with this thing, it really can just be like a standalone one shot.
Yeah.
And
All right.
probably not tie into the Avengers.
But that's speculation. Anyway,
Okay.
so what else? Anything else about Ant-Man?
The list of directors that won't touch it.
Oh, who are they?
Yeah.
There were rumors. Ross and Thurber, Adam McKay, Ruben Fleischer. They said Ross and Thurber at one point was the first choice, and then he wouldn't go near it. And then also Adam McKay was in talks, and then he abruptly backed out.
I feel bad for Paul Rudd, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure he signed on because he's like read the script and was like, this is awesome.
That's what got him in the first place.
Yeah, and then now I'm
Maybe
sure
we can
he's like,
direct it.
fuck. Like,
They haven't asked us yet.
yeah. I'm sure they'll give it to us.
And then
Why not?
I think
No one else will.
And I think they decided to go
We're
with
not Brett
Peyton
Ratner.
Reed,
Right.
director of Yes Man, Jim Carrey, Zooey Deschanel.
Sure. I saw it like when I was in second grade. Or
I
something.
loved
Or,
Zoe-
no,
No,
Yes
no, no.
Man.
This was a
no,
couple years ago.
sorry. I was thinking of what's that other one where you can't say no? Or,
Liar, Liar.
Liar, liar. Yeah, I love how there's one where you can't say no and then
That's
or some,
one of Jim Carrey's best
I
films.
don't know.
But yeah, so
Yeah. Well,
it's not Edgar Wright.
yeah, I'm a lot less excited for it now.
Um,
A lot less excited for it.
we're sorry on behalf of the entire movie nerd community. Sorry, Edgar Wright's not doing the movie.
Yeah,
Are
that
these even real
sucks.
posters or are they fake ones? I don't know. If
Probably
the movie's
fake
not even
ones.
These are
made yet.
fake ones, but they were getting ready to.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Do
what
the
other
thing.
movie? Oh yeah.
What's else?
What about Jason Momoa cast as Aquaman? That's
Did that just happen?
Yes, it did.
It just happened.
Okay.
It's a little odd. I mean, sure. I don't know. It's like I'm so like not excited about
No.
the
Here's what I'm
DC
excited
cinematic
about.
universe that I'm just like sure. Who cares?
So this
But-
is what I'm excited about. I'm very excited for Jason Momoa. I'm very unexcited that DC could have literally casted him as any other character in the DC universe.
Yeah.
And he's going to play Aquaman.
Well, I hope they give him bearded Aquaman like on the right there. I hope that they do that.
Oh, I
because
want
that,
him to be I mean, if they're going
that's
to reimagine Aquaman, I want it to be the most badass Aquaman
yeah.
ever.
But I hope they don't make him go blonde or anything because I don't think he'd look good
Have you
with
guys
blonde
read
hair.
Aquaman? Much Aquaman? Is there?
I've read the first 12 issues of Jeff Johns's run. It was
I
pretty
would
good.
I would like to see. Who would you like to see Momo play?
I think he would do a kick-ass version of the Huntress.
I was excited
Because
when
you
he
can
was going to
literally
be
get him
Drax.
to do anybody.
Yeah, I want to see him. I would like to see him as Martian Manhunter.
Perfect.
I think that would be interesting. But speaking of Martian Manhunter, and this is a little off topic, but well, not off topic, but that whole Goyer thing that was going on where he was talking shit about She-Hulk and saying she was a porn fantasy. But the other things that he was saying, he was like talking shit on Martian Manhunter for a minute too. He's like, who in here has heard of Martian Manhunter? And then the people raise their hands, and then he's like, yeah, now, which of you guys have actually been laid? You know, like,
Oh,
yeah.
dude, he
yeah,
actually
and then
went
he was
there.
saying, we couldn't say Martian, that's lame, we just have to say Manhunter. And then, like, all of a sudden, he was just, like, talking so much shit about comic book characters, I was kind of like, wow, I can't believe you wrote
it
the
really did-
Batman
well, see, that's the
trilogy.
thing, like, it really brings
it's
into
like,
question,
fuck.
did he actually read any of the source material that he's worked on?
Yeah.
Because don't forget, he also did Blade and...
Yeah, I like Blade. I mean,
Blade was fine.
but okay. Grant Morrison said in his Super Gods book that there are two approaches to superhero writing.
Okay.
There's the missionary and there's the anthropologist. And Grant Morrison's the anthropologist, where he goes in and he joins the tribe and he's just there to check it out and not mess with anything.
Right.
And he just wants to be a part of their shit and study them.
Okay.
Whereas a missionary goes in and says, you're worshiping the wrong God. You got to change your shit. You guys got to start learning how to read and speak English and doing all this other
Gotcha.
stuff. And that's what Goyer feels like to me, where he's like, I don't respect these characters. I feel like they need to be more like us.
Right.
You know, which they're superheroes. They're, whatever. And yeah, totally.
And I feel like Goyer completely forgot who his audience was for this stuff.
Well, I was talking to Darren about this. We saw
D-Dog Darren.
D-Dog Darren. We went and saw Holy Mountain together. That was
yeah.
really awesome. You totally missed out, Kirk.
I know.
And
A Jodorowsky film, Holy Mountain.
It's my favorite one, too.
it was so good. And yeah, like Darren was like, I think he just must have been really drunk, like when he was doing this.
You
Like
hope.
he must have been drunk because it just sounds like shit you'd say when you're talking out of your ass when you're drunk. And I'm hoping that that's the case too. But
Like, I mean-
Still, regardless, he knew there was a courting going on.
But
it
maybe
was-
it was one of those things where it's like you and your bros, because bros being bros or guys being fucking assholes, and I'm totally
Yeah,
guilty of it
yeah.
when you're hanging out with your bros. But
every guy is. It's fine.
But maybe that's exactly what happened. And
Well, speaking of She-Hulk, though, that comic is awesome. It's
Yeah,
my new favorite.
T-Bone's been reading
Oh,
it.
is that the new issue?
this is
Yeah,
the new issue.
yeah.
Oh, it just came out. Oh, I'm reading this tonight for sure.
Yeah.
I'll leave it with you guys.
Yeah.
Oh man,
They changed up the artist.
Thanks.
The artist is still amazing. But I think this is going to be a
Like a
couple
filler.
of fill-in issues while the main artist gets back
Hold
on.
it up in front of the screen.
Yeah. Where am I going here on this
Or I
one?
can just, you can just do that.
Yeah.
Probably works.
Yeah, and it's like he's like saying that she was a porno fantasy for the Hulk, and like, but it's like she's his cousin.
Well, no, it's not
They
even
never
that.
even-
Because here's the thing about
That's-
She-Hulk that's
do you know
really
anything about
fucking
anything?
awesome is that one, at any time she can revert back to her normal.
Come on.
Yeah.
But she prefers to be She-Hulk. She's not ashamed about it. She likes to be, bigger and buff and green. And I think that's a really awesome.
Isn't she always have to be green though? She's always green.
She's always green.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is like she can revert back to her normal self.
yeah, yeah.
And
She-
it's not because like she got scared or someone said a magic word or anything like
Yeah,
that. Like it's
yeah.
by choice.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that they draw Jennifer Walters as like, fuck you, I'm She-Hulk now.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like she doesn't lose any intelligence when she's in Hulk form.
Yeah.
She is almost like a better version of herself.
Yeah.
Well, I just love
And
how
she's an attorney, and she's smart, and
Yeah.
she has reputation in the superhero community as far as like Fantastic Four,
Mm-hmm.
and Tony Stark wishes that she was like that on speed dial. But I mean,
Well, they used to have a thing going on.
oh, of course, it's the best part about it.
My favorite thing was
She
I
also-
love how they presented the world that she's in, where it's just so casual to be a super person with powers.
Yeah.
Just, and just like you go to Starbucks
Yeah.
or you go about your
And
day.
it talks about the mundane aspects.
Yeah,
of,
it makes it so regular.
And like that's something that I always really enjoy is adding the mundane to the fantastical. I mean, and that's what this is. I mean, that's why I really am into that White Trash Zombie series, because it talks about the mundane aspects of being a zombie. Like, how do you secure brains? Where do you put them? How do you hide the fact that they're brains? Like all this like interesting stuff. And there's things like that in this, where it's like, where do you read from? Where do you know when you're a superhero?
This world is so developed in this. I love it.
It's really a lot. And you can tell, like we were talking earlier, the writer of this, like he has a law degree. And you can totally tell, like he's writing from experience.
I know I'm screwing up his name, but
I
it's
know.
S-O-U-L-E.
That's why I didn't say it. I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I'll take the bullet on that one. He's writing for Marvel and DC and doing independent stuff right now. He's
Wow.
also about to do something with, I think they're going to do a crossover thing because he is writing the Red Lantern Corps.
I think he is.
DC,
He is She-Hulk. I think.
Yeah, well,
he's
also
writing
gonna-
her as himself
He's trying to mature.
because he is a superhero for doing that much fucking
Supergirl.
work.
He's making Supergirl
Really?
a Red Lantern in the DCU for a little bit.
Interesting. I would.
I think that's awesome.
I would like to see that.
Because
That's actually gets,
she's a young
yeah,
teenager with
right,
a lot of rage.
Right. I'd like to see some
Yeah.
some Kara action getting on
Why
the Red
not?
Lantern business.
I like the fact that he's willing to take, a character and like, no, we need to grow her up a little bit.
I know, and it's like that Bleeds character. I don't know. I'm not into
And I
that.
think he's also doing Superman, Wonder Woman too. Someone correct me on that, because I cannot keep track of how many comics the guy is writing right now.
Yeah.
He's a machine.
Well, what?
Just this one cover is my favorite cover. It's like shows her first of all waking up early, hitting her alarm,
Trying to shave her legs,
shaving her legs,
putting her
putting
mascara
makeup
on.
Then she's
Getting ready, gets
got her
her-
first exhibit at work.
And then party.
Party,
Beating up bad guys at
beating
night.
up bad guys. It's like that's a full day,
Guys,
know?
pick up. I mean, I know she did the mini video, and go back and watch it because
Yeah,
it's
on the
absolutely
Godzilla,
true.
yeah.
But She-Hulk is a fantastic
It's so much
series right
fun.
now.
It's just like it's a lot of fun, especially for new readers. Highly
Yeah.
recommend it for new readers.
That's kind of funny too, because like what Marvel's been doing with, because I just got all the comics out for, Marvel's been doing individual issues again for like individual characters, like Iron Fist, instead of him being a part of a team, or
They just make him a one shot here and there.
well, it's not even a one shot. He's got his own series right now,
Oh,
and it's absolutely amazing. It's
Nice.
one guy doing everything.
nice.
And,
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I think they kind of looked at what they were doing with Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And went, no, we can actually talk about their lives as well as them being superheroes.
Well, it's like I've
And
seen.
they're fucking doing it with a bunch of, like the Black Widow series is great.
Yeah,
Pick
that's what
that
I
up.
hear. I need to pick that one
Pick
up.
that up.
Well, like Marvel seems to be taking a lot of artistic chances lately, and I feel like they have a lot of independent artists and independent writers working for them.
Yeah.
And I'm just, that's my favorite thing to see is when you get the independent people who have that independent swag,
Right.
and they bring that to the superhero thing. And I always think that that's such a great mix, and I love seeing them. I hope that they continue to do that.
Well, and they are taking chances and it's being brave. Like the guy who is doing Iron Fist right now, the Living Weapon, it's on issue 3. It's Kyle Andrews. Again, Kaare Kyle Andrews. I'm sorry, I'm probably screwing up that name. He's the writer and the artist.
That's unheard of.
And he's using really great, cool art techniques to help advance the story that he's telling.
Yeah.
It's fucking stellar, guys. Please check that one out.
Yeah. So speaking of Marvel, they may be dropping their Fantastic Four to spite Fox.
Yeah, I was getting that.
Rumors.
Yeah.
I'm talking a lot, but I'm going to keep going because the Red Bull finally kicked in. There is a rumor, and it's a rumor that actually Tom Brevoort addressed, and he did it very diplomatically, and that's why Marvel's awesome. But it's not so far-fetched that Marvel will stop their Fantastic Four series just for the sake of maybe spiting certain movie studios who will not surrender the rights.
Certain Fox studios. Yeah.
And maybe that's just a really other way to look at it. I kind of want people to talk about it in the comments because I feel like no one really is.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting concept. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it will not help them in some respects, but I don't think that... I don't know. I don't know. But it's an interesting idea.
It's far-fetched, but then at the same time, I think there might be a hint of truth because of, who these companies are that have the rights, and then who is the president or the CEO or this person or that person that is calling the big shots.
Yeah.
Because they're talking that, say for instance, in this hypothetical world where they cancel Fantastic Four, the characters will still appear throughout the Marvel Universe in other issues. Johnny Storm will still definitely hook up with Peter Parker to go get a hot dog.
And I'm down with that. I'm cool with that.
Galactus will still show up and threaten the Earth, hopefully.
Yeah. Reed Richards will have to go give him a talking to again.
But even in the Ultimate Universe where they have a Fantastic Four series, and the only main character on that team is Invisible Woman, as opposed to also Tony Stark is part of that team now, and I think the Falcon. But just the name Fantastic Four is free advertising for any potential movie. So maybe they just want to go, no.
Can I be honest about this?
Yeah.
I cannot seem to care about the Fantastic Four. Why is that? Why do I not care?
It's a mid-selling comic. It's one of Marvel's staples as far as the soul of Marvel. There's been great stories told when they bring a great creative team on. Mark Waid told really great Fantastic Four stories. Mark Millar told some of my favorite Fantastic Four stories. That was amazing.
I'm just not excited about a stretchy man. I'm sorry.
They seem...
I wouldn't want a stretchy power if I had it for free. Would you?
I think there's a lot of fun things you can do with stretchy
Woman,
power.
It doesn't excite me either. I'm sorry.
Did you see The Incredibles? The Incredibles.
The Incredibles made Fantastic
The mom had stretchy powers, and she was awesome.
Yeah, but that was a comedy, and it was hilarious. It works. The comedy.
Well, I think
that's what I'm saying.
I think that Fantastic Four kind of has a hard time selling, because for me, I'm not a huge Fantastic Four person either. I don't hate them, but I'm not ooh, Fantastic Four.
Right.
And I think it's just because they just seem too nice and sweet to me. I'm just they don't really have any real problems.
But they're Marvel's first family, man. Come on.
But they are. But then they're a family. That's another
Right.
thing. It's they got that family aspect to them that kind of makes them a lot less.
And that's not such a far-fetched idea because they do really utilize Reed Richards a lot more as a character. Say in the big summer blockbuster story arcs they do.
Yeah.
He's a big deal in Secret Invasion, and he's a big deal in Civil War.
Well, I like it when he's doing his science stuff.
Yeah,
for sure.
of course.
Yeah, I mean
I like when him and Tony
way
and Bruce
cooler.
are in the same room.
Yeah.
Doing
We
their
did
thing.
finally watch that old Fantastic Four movie.
The one it's on YouTube
the
too.
Corman one.
You can find it.
Yeah, the Roger Corman one.
Yeah, it was really easy to torrent.
It was.
Oh, it's all over the place now.
It was really bad.
Yeah.
Oh, but you see, if you watch the documentary about it, those guys thought they were going to be rock stars making that film.
Did you see the whole documentary? I haven't seen that.
It's awesome.
How did you find it? Where do you get that?
YouTube, dude.
Oh, it's on YouTube?
I mean, the internet in certain places and
No, I
things
thought it was
that.
a film that just came out that you can't get yet or something. But
There's
when
some
we were
behind-the-scenes
looking
stuff you can
for it,
find.
I think when we were looking for it, it wasn't out yet. But I think maybe now it's ready to go.
Okay.
I'm just going to say the internet.
Let me just look up a picture of that old Fantastic Four. What was it called? Just Fantastic Four?
Fantastic Four.
Put Corman.
Corman. Roger Corman's Fantastic Four.
Although the Thing makeup was really
no.
good. I mean...
No, don't load. What are you
I
sure?
don't want to edit the website. Keep talking, guys. Keep talking.
Okay,
Oh,
sorry,
gosh.
we're kind of
Oh,
freaking
gosh.
out about that. Yeah, the Thing stuff looked really good.
Yeah, I mean, like he had the look, like the makeup looked just like the comic book, and they didn't try to change it, and
There
that
it
was
is,
something
alright.
that I appreciated. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
There is
Thing
no
looked
comic
awesome.
shame happening in this flick, guys. No comic shame. I like the classic,
Well,
costumes.
Thing looked great, and Dr. Doom looked really
yeah,
good.
he
in
looked
it too.
really good. Although, like, you couldn't hear what the fuck he was saying because he had that mask over his mouth, and they didn't like know how to mic him right or something. Like,
I'm
they didn't
wondering if
even
were
bother to
planning on
ADR
and-
him.
and
Yeah,
never got around to it.
probably.
That's probably what it was.
Do you sound like
Said.
Bane?
Yeah, like you couldn't even tell what the fuck he was saying. You know, it's like at least with Bane, it just had a
but
weird
Doom looked
accent.
cool in
Is that
that. No,
But
that's
yeah.
Is that the new one or is that the old one? I
No,
don't
that's
know.
the new
New
one.
one.
That's the new one. Yeah, right. Yeah,
There
it's
you
just,
go.
it's just straight up Doom from the
Yeah.
comic. They just took the comic design, they fucking made it. It looked good.
But the movie is really hard to watch otherwise.
Yeah.
Especially because the quality is so awful.
I know we had really bad. Can't even tell what's going on half the. So well,
Did it?
So I hear that what's his face got pulled off of X-Men.
Brian Singer?
Brian Singer, yeah, he's been pulled off
Is that a
off the
fact
team.
or is that a
I
rumor?
wonder why.
Yeah. Nobody wants anybody tainting their
yeah.
shit with any sort of.
Well, so, I mean... it's
You
a-
had him at Tate.
Oh,
You
gosh.
had him at Tate.
Okay, it's a complete speculation, though, right? Or is it fair? Does that mean that Fox has decided there's too much facts here that...
To the internet.
Yeah.
What is
Did
the
we
internet
figure it
now?
out? I thought you found the article.
I did.
And then
in
you
my
lost
1,000 tabs here. Hold on.
I know you
Keep-
got way too many tabs.
Keep talking.
Hey,
There we go.
oh, I heard somebody say this, and I don't know if this is true or not. But is Peter Baelish playing Doctor Strange? Has that been
I
confirmed?
don't know. I don't think there's been a confirmation yet. I know they were talking about the 30 Seconds to Mars dude.
Jared Leto?
Yeah.
He's not old enough.
His name was going around for a little bit, and you and I are going to
I
totally...
mean, that'd be like the sexiest Doctor Strange I've ever seen in my life. Which
It'd be Buddy Christ Doctor Strange. That's because that's what he looks like. But can we just Cumberbatch?
I could do Cumberbatch.
I mean, Cumberbatch can do everything,
Cumberbatch.
but I think Cumberbatch.
Somebody
could be-
else had another. I heard somebody else from Game of Thrones potentially was in the running for, and I was like, that's good too.
The running
But
for
Peter Baelish, I think, would be really good as fucking Doctor Strange.
Hell yeah.
Like, because he's already got that. I don't know. I know he's gonna look good in the costume. He's already got that face for it.
I think more than anything else, I need someone who I'm going to believe was a surgeon or a doctor before he was
Right.
master sorcerer.
Let me check my IMDb here. Let's see
Let's
what's
see
going
what
on.
IMDb is saying about that.
I'm really excited about a Doctor Strange movie.
Hell yeah!
Only if it's really fucking weird. It's gotta be
Oh no, let's
really
get
fucking
creepy,
weird.
man.
Like it's gotta be really bizarre.
Can Jodorowsky direct it?
Yeah, and I would love to see Jodorowsky direct a Doctor Strange movie. Or I'd love to see. I wish Grant Morrison would write a script.
A treatment of some sort?
Yeah, I would love to see his weird.
Because let's admit it, even if Grant Morrison wrote a treatment for Doctor Strange, and they go back to Marvel, and Marvel takes one look at it and goes, "There is no fucking way we can make this into a movie." Even if they took a tenth of that script, that could work, and that could work, and put it into something that they can put on film, it would be cool. Just to use whatever little taste that Morrison had as far as making that crazy.
I know.
That'd be rad.
Is
that Liam Neeson doctored up to look like Doctor Strange?
Yeah, you guys didn't see that?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody
Obviously,
says
that's who should play the part. He looks perfect.
Somebody says Hugh Laurie from House. I
He'd
think
be awesome.
He'd be good.
Hugh Laurie would be.
Somebody says Jason
great.
Isaacs, which I like Jason Isaacs.
Jason Isaacs. What's he from?
He's in everything. He's in everything ever. He was the bad guy in The Patriot. He was Hook
yes!
in that Peter Pan movie that came out a
Well,
while
okay.
ago.
Yeah, he was Hook.
Yeah, he was.
All right, we need to move on. We need to move on.
All
We can't
right.
play too
Well,
long
fine
on
then.
who should play who.
all right.
Okay.
Whatever.
Let's talk
So-
about facts
Whatever.
here. This is a fact-based podcast,
Whatever.
not speculation cast.
I'm excited. I see everyone that I see for Doctor Strange.
Everything about this podcast is /fiction. And
Let's take a real quick break.
Okay, let's do a break.
All right. Stop.
And now we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Okay. Continue back.
Okay, we're back.
All right.
And we're back.
Sorry, we had so much nervous energy that we almost imploded.
Okay. So let's talk about movies now. For real. Let's do it.
Movies.
For
All right.
real this time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about Edge of Tomorrow. That came out last weekend.
Yeah.
We
yeah,
saw it.
Yeah.
Kirk, did you see it?
I saw part of it.
Part of it.
How would you see part of it?
What are you talking
The
about?
theater left?
The internet.
Oh, you saw the trailer?
Oh.
Okay.
No,
Well,
I saw the first part when you start to kind of get to understanding who Tom Cruise is and
Right.
Okay.
that he's not a soldier.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we saw Edge of Tomorrow. I understand that it's got really high ratings. A lot of people really liked it. I thought it was good, but I don't understand the super high praise.
I think empty calories was a good way to say it. Like, I mean, I think it's like got really great visuals. I think the first half of the movie is really, really fun. Like, I really like the first half of the movie. I was like, man, I'm gonna have to go back and say I was wrong about this movie, because in my summer talk shit on summer movies, I said that this looks like Oblivion 2, and then it's just gonna be another faux sci-fi, action Tom Cruise movie, but then like I said, the first half I thought was really good. It had a lot of really fun ideas, a lot of really cool stuff going on. I really enjoyed the whole situation, but then halfway through the movie, they weren't connecting those ideas. Those ideas weren't connecting to anything, and then it just kind of ended up being a movie that's just like really cool visuals, really fun ideas, but really doesn't really go anywhere. And the ending of the film was, you could tell that they reshot something, because the ending of the film was really weak.
Yeah, can we do, I don't even know, I don't know how to talk about this without, I don't think this is a spoiler. It might be a spoiler. It is a spoiler. Okay. Spoilers for the next 2 minutes. The whole thing was about the idea of there's an alien who can control time, and that's how Tom Cruise gets into this Groundhog Day situation, which is not a spoiler there, because he's in that from the trailer that it's doing a futuristic war Groundhog Day scenario, which is a lot of fun to see. However, for me, it was a big letdown because they didn't go anywhere besides just setting up the concept as happening. The concept was just an excuse to have the concept so we could enjoy it. And it didn't lead to any great movie philosophy or something like The Matrix. Like a movie like that about sci-fi gives you things to think about.
Well, yeah, it's really cool,
got a meaning and a message.
And it's got a message. Well, even things like Pacific Rim.
But this was just about being fun and just having fun with this idea.
Well, it's like, I feel like Pacific Rim is a good thing to compare it to, because Pacific Rim is also kind of like a fun, like, this is a big concept, look at these big monsters, it's like a very visual heavy movie, but it still has something to say, like, about teamwork and like things like that. And even though it's a small message, it still gives it
that's
some substance.
What I was getting at is I felt like there was something was implied, as if they were going to have a message or a philosophy or something, but it felt like they just dropped it. To me, I have a theory that there's an alternate ending that they didn't give us.
I believe that. I believe that. Because the ending that we got...
It is a movie about alternate vision, redoing things. So they could have literally redone like 10 endings for all we know. It
feels like they did. And I was looking at some of the manga stuff, though, and I was like, man, like, I don't know.
Because this is based on what?
It was based on a manga called All You Need Is Kill, which I have not read. But I was looking at some of the pages from it, and I was a little disappointed, because I was like, man, I just want to see like a Japanese mech suit. And I know that it's like, this is supposed to be whatever. I don't know. I guess you can't use Japanese stuff, but fuck, they look so cool.
Yeah, the mech suits from
we all want a Japanese
manga
mech suit.
Who does not want a Japanese mech suit? What,
show it. I mean, I don't know why, but if you realize that they're so popular, you might as well just start showing them. Start designing some of these things like that.
Come on. Like, that first one right there should have it.
Where?
That first one right there.
This?
Is that
That's it?
That's a piss poor image.
Oh.
This is...
It gives you an idea of how cool it is, man.
This is the day of low resolution. Okay.
That's awesome.
Great. There we go. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, like that was awesome. Like,
so this would have been really fun to see, but I'd still really like the mech suits.
I mean, they still look really good, and it was practical. They made the suits, and like they were they were like so heavy that they, like, in between takes they had to have them on wires, like, so the people wouldn't be crushed by the weight. Like, it was like 75 pounds on your neck or something.
Right, but to me it looks obvious that whatever the original work was, All You Need Is Kill. This is a very Americanized interpretation. Well, and it's probably very loosely interpreted. So, for all I know, the comic could explain all those things that I'm wondering about.
Well, the movie really made me want to read the comic, because I liked a lot of the concepts in the movie, but I felt like, they kind of pushed out on him, and the comic probably did it much better.
Admittedly, I didn't get to see the whole film, but when you come to manga and this type of stuff, someone was telling me that if you were a big fan of Battle Angel Alita, that it kind of falls in that vein as far as like the pacing and the art and that sort of like those high concept ideas.
Yeah.
So that's where, like, I'm with you. Like, yes, I kind of want to read the manga.
Yeah.
But, I'm just burnt. I'm burnt out on Tom Cruise. This is why I didn't go rush out to see the movie. I probably will eventually. I love the director.
Yeah.
He does some great stuff.
Who's the director?
I forgot his name, but he did.
The director from The Bourne Identity.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Okay.
And then, I think this is the guy who got to start with Swingers.
Yeah.
I think that's
Jon Favreau?
Not Jon Favreau.
Oh.
The director of Swingers.
Oh, I don't know.
Help me out, guys.
Right in front of a computer.
Right.
I mean,
wait, what?
Anyway, but the thing about Tom Cruise is it's really not. It doesn't even matter to me.
Really?
Watching it, I wasn't paying attention. I don't care if Tom Cruise is jumping on a couch or not. It doesn't bother me. If he's in a good script or not a good script. And
Doug Liman, sorry. I was going crazy on that one.
Anyway, it's not a bad movie. I enjoyed it. I'd watch it again. But I feel like I was just so disappointed that there was not more to it than just a really cool, fun idea.
This is totally a nitpick. But this is something that I really wanted to see, and I was hoping that they'd do something weird like this, because I'm a weirdo. But, the concept is he has to die every day, so he can reset until they find the big bad and da-da-da-da.
Because, alien blood... Oh, that's a spoiler.
It's really goofy the way he gets the power. It doesn't make any sense, but whatever. But I was hoping... It's not. A lot of stuff is just like he just got to go with it. But I was really hoping that Tom Cruise was going to get in a situation where he had to kill himself, but he, had to do it in a fucked up way because there was nothing to kill himself with except for a spoon or something, and he'd have to do something really gruesome.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Like that moment where the character's like, "Are you kidding me? This is how I'm gonna have to do it."
I'm gonna fucking this is gonna be terrible. And that would have acted added I think a really fun,
I really am gonna have to give myself rope burn. Until I die.
Yeah, I know. It's there's a puddle and he's just got to try to drown himself in a puddle or something.
That would be really cool. There's plenty of really fun, cool things in the movie like that. But still, that wouldn't have made the movie any better as a whole.
There was nothing like that in the movie.
But I remember what it was I wanted to say is the movie implied that it had some philosophy or something it had to say about the fact that they're messing with time.
Yeah.
And it set it up with, there was a scene where they're playing cards with the soldiers.
Yeah.
And the sergeant general or whatever doesn't like
Bill
that.
Paxton, who was amazing.
Bill Paxton was great.
He was really fucking good.
He was great.
I love Bill Paxton.
And Bill Paxton's pissed because...
he doesn't allow gambling.
Right. He doesn't allow gambling because he doesn't like the idea that there's anyone in control of your fate other than yourself.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, it's a suggestion, something going along with the fact that there's this movie's messing with time.
Yeah.
But they just bring it up and they never close it.
Yeah,
so it's a great beginning, a great middle, very disappointing.
And they just kind of leave that concept somewhere in the dust.
They just didn't know what to do with it. They just didn't quite know what to do.
I felt like it was so confident of itself, though. It felt so confident, like it did know where it was going, and I was on board the whole way.
No, I was too. And I was like I said, halfway through the movie, I was like, fuck, this movie's good.
Like
I'm going to have to fucking eat my words. And then in the end, I was like, I don't have to eat anything.
I feel like I went to a bathroom break, and I missed something that was pivotal to understanding the movie. But no, I didn't. You saw the whole thing, right? Next topic is... All right, we never talked about X-Men Days of Future Past much.
This is a big one.
Kirk, what did you think about it?
I thought it was solid.
We did a mini
I was
vlog
surprised
on it.
as hell.
Yeah.
I was surprised as hell, and now I am retroactively even more pissed off about Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, it even upset...
I'm angry.
Yeah. By the way...
This was a good flick.
By the way, quick deal. Spider-Man 3 has been pushed back to 2017 because it didn't do so well. So Sony's kind of freaking out. So.
That's the rumor. Don't state that like it's a fact.
Whatever, that's what I hear. Because you actually, when you told me that earlier today, you told it like it was a fact, so I just assumed it was a fact. So I didn't know you were feeding me bad information.
I'm not feeding you bad information. Okay.
Sorry, I trust you. My bad. Next time.
Okay, so then
I'll fact check you.
But fact is, it is being pushed back.
Yeah. It should be pushed back to never. Ever. When it should be pushed back to. Although, this is one thing I didn't say about it, I think, when we were doing our Plopcast, is I love his eyes. They finally got the eyes right on the costume.
Right.
They finally got the eyes right. I thought the costume was great. But
we talked about that. But
Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past. I thought it was very solid. I thought it was a very cool, somewhere deep down in there, it was a really great relationship film between Xavier and Magneto.
Yeah.
I liked that.
Yeah.
I also liked the fact that it felt like Matthew Vaughn
Yes.
was still directing it
yes,
rather than...
absolutely. I'm so glad the tonality was Matthew Vaughn tonality versus Bryan Singer tonality.
Because T-Bone was saying earlier that it felt like Matthew Vaughn directed the film.
Well, that's
yeah,
why...
you couldn't even tell that Bryan Singer did it.
Yeah.
After seeing it, I was like, oh, this was great. Why did I think for so long this was going to be a stinker? And I realized, when I heard that Bryan Singer was coming back like a year ago, after I saw First Class, loved it, was super excited, like, oh, great, they've got it. But then I found out, they're going with the old director? What? Did not realize how good First Class was? Do more of that. Right. And then I saw the movie, and I realized, oh, wait, they are still doing that.
And I like the direction that they're taking, where you had First Class, which takes place in the 60s. You have this one, which is taking place in the 70s. Supposedly, the next one's going to take place in the 80s.
Bring Dazzler into it.
Call me.
80s.
Or, you know what? I know that I can't be Dazzler because I'm tatted out. All right? I know that they can't cast me.
Why the fuck can Dazzler not have tattoos?
Well, it wouldn't be right. And I don't want to do that to the character. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want her to be perfect. So I could be Spiral. I could be Spiral.
Totally have makeup that'll cover your tattoos.
I know, that's true. That's true.
What are you talking about?
When they cast me as Dazzler.
When?
Are you talking about this? Is like it's going to happen?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Okay.
I'm a manifester.
will this into existence
I love
for
that you don't
everyone.
even start the subject with, if they made a movie, I would love to play the character.
No, it's already. I'm already in the.
19
you
just
just
went
go.
straight for it. So when they cast me.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they cast me,
Okay.
when they give me the call. But I'm saying if they decide they don't want to cast me because of the tattoos, I am willing to play Spiral instead. Is what I'm saying, because I could have this could be the cybernetic.
She's got
one.
all the answers, guys. Come
So
on. What
this
are you
could be the
waiting for?
cybernetic one.
You have no more
you could cover it
excuses.
up.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Shut up! It's gonna happen.
Just in
Shut
case
up.
Marvel was listening right now, and they
I'm
were
the
on the fence
obvious
about it.
fucking choice. All right. So did you
Okay.
see our calendar fucking January deal? Hello.
Hey, all right. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just being realistic about it.
Whatever. Being realistic.
Okay, I'm afraid while they're doing their thing, when she's talking about like doing the generational like every
But yeah,
decade jump, that was good.
No, I love the fact that they're tying in world events like the Cuban
that was,
Missile
I was
Crisis.
telling you about that.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
how cool is it that they kind of all right now? It's been a while. Spoilers.
Yeah, no it's fine. It's all spoilers.
It's all spoilers here.
If you haven't seen it, fuck you.
Go see it. It was really good. But Magneto was trying to save JFK from the assassination
Because he was a mutant. Oh, that was so dope.
Don't do the table.
Oh, sorry. That's sorry. It was
right.
exciting.
But yeah, I like the fact they're tying in major moments in our American history or world history.
Yeah.
And it was the mutants.
Although I do want to say this because somebody on Twitter was like, "Well, Comic Book Girl 19 said she loved it," and it's like, look, motherfucker, I didn't say I fucking loved it. All right,
you
I
either
said
loved it or hated it. Which one is it?
It's like
It's black and white. all right?
it's one extreme or the
I
other.
know. It's
There
like,
is no.
It's good for what it is. It's still not my X-Men, and it's still not what I want to see.
Yeah.
It's still not what I want to see, but for this continuity and this film franchise, it is the best they could do with what they had, and I can respect that. But it was so great to see fucking Quicksilver do his thing and have fun, and I just want to see so much more of that. I'm so tired of fucking Anna Paquin. I don't want to
Let me
use
throw my apologies out right now. I thought Quicksilver was the biggest joke going into the
I did too, and
advertising.
fuck you,
I was
man.
wrong.
Yeah.
That was one of the
But
best
it's
scenes in
that
the entire
Carl's
film.
Jr. commercial. It just damned him. I mean,
think the
and then the
design-
Empire
I think his
cover,
design was still a little off.
I mean,
But
yeah, but it,
In retrospect, all those
Yeah.
covers that everyone jumped up about, I mean, that was just a bad marketing thing.
Yeah.
really bad marketing.
It did make sense
Really
to
bad
show
marketing.
all the characters as if they're going to be on the team all at the same time.
Well, we were talking about that, about how they really shouldn't have done all those different characters because half of them are in the past, half of them are in like the future,
yeah.
and they don't
Toad
aesthetically.
was only in like half. Like
they don't
a quarter of a
aesthetically
scene.
go, and they put Anna Paquin on a cover. Fucking. It's like she wasn't even in the fucking movie except for like
Sure.
2 seconds, and wasn't even
That
wearing the
much.
costume that she had in the Empire cover.
No.
it's like that was kind of.
You're right. They did have
lame.
Anne Paquin. Ugh.
Yeah.
She only like turns around a corner and is like
It's like,
looks.
hi, Logan.
Does she even have a line? Okay.
How do I use my powers?
Do your Anna Paquin.
Okay.
And that's it. And
Not
she's the
perfect.
weak sauce. She's weak sauce. They just made that character
Because
so
the Rogue
lame.
in the comic is really awesome. Is
Big,
what you're saying.
brash,
And is
fun,
nothing like what's in
huge
the movie, right?
personality.
Well-
Hitting the shit out of stuff.
Look,
Like
I think
he used
no
to be
one-
a bad guy.
One day you'll get the
no
X-Men
one
movie you
fucks
want,
with Rogue, especially
but not
because
in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
especially when she got Ms.
Marvel's
Marvel's
powers,
powers.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Rogue, especially. Dear God, I'll say it during the '90s was fucking awesome.
Was fucking awesome. Was fucking awesome.
I like '90s Rogue.
No, I mean I was reading some of the old '80s comics where she just went over to the X-Men and like her and Dazzler like had a fucking thing where they hate each other because like Rogue had fucked with Dazzler before when she was a bad guy and
Right.
Dazzler was like fuck you, like I don't fucking trust your ass, like they're trying to figure it out, and then she's like has a thing for Longshot, and then that's pissing Dazzler. It was awesome. It was so much fun, and she's like whatever sugar, like I'm gonna fucking talk to Longshot, like fuck you, and it was so much fun. And that's
I
not
loved
what we
90s
got
Rogue.
in
I'm a
the
bad
movie.
person. So things about X-Men that surprised the hell out of me. Yes, Wolverine, through the eyes of Wolverine. I like the fact that they didn't overuse Wolverine.
They didn't they left some
I like
room.
that he was a mediator.
Yeah, I mean,
They used him as the plot device to continue the story and advance the story,
Yeah.
as opposed to Wolverine and the Wolverine Men.
yeah,
That was really cool.
Yeah.
I liked him without his adamantium. I know it sounds weird.
No, it was cool. It was cool.
I liked him not with the adamantium.
Although I do think that the shit they did with Beast was super weak sauce.
Oh, right. There we go. There's a picture of Beast right there.
Yeah.
First of all, his makeup looked like shit compared to First Class. First Class, he was Kitty Beast and looked awesome.
Yeah. Say it. Start with the positives.
Okay.
In X-Men,
First class, I
Beast was
love
awesome.
the way he looked. I love the way he
And
looked.
he was designed by
ADI, Studio ADI, which
Right.
I've seen the makeup
look at
at
that.
their studio, and it was beautiful. And they had like real like blue fox fur that they had like somebody had individually
so
punched
cool.
into the arms. Like it was like it was beautiful. It was immaculate. And like then this one he looks like Teen Wolf, and then sometimes he is, and sometimes like I saw a lot of
Right.
budgetary
Okay.
issues that they had going on in this
Here's an
movie.
image right here from First Class. That's really good.
Oh, it's so cute.
And then
Oh,
let's
I
look
wanna
at
pet
what
his
they
little
did
face.
with him.
Look at why he has glasses on.
Whoops.
I like Hipster Beast. I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah, I'm down. Oh, Stitches is back.
We're gonna go. Keep talking. Keep talking about my face.
I'm sorry, Stitches.
But in the Days of Future Past, you know, he has that serum, so sometimes he's not Beast, but then he hulks out or something, and it was just like, okay, so you didn't want to have him in the makeup all the time because it's expensive,
Right.
And it's annoying to put him in the makeup, and maybe the actor doesn't want to be in the makeup and have his real
starting
face
over.
out.
All right, here's the Beast from the last movie,
Awesome, cute nose.
That-
and
Yes.
then here's the Beast they changed to. Now I understand Beast
Boring.
mutates, but this was much better look.
Yeah. No, the other
Why
one's
would they not just
cheap.
go with the
It's
original
cheap.
look?
I liked Cat Beast that they went with in the first one.
Plus, another minor thing is that they had him mutating back to a human and back to Beast whenever they wanted it.
But it was convenient for the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they try that half-ass thing with him with Mystique, and it's like, does everyone just want to fuck Mystique? Is that what this is? Like everybody wants to get in her panties? Like, come on, give me a break. Like, well, shut up.
Yeah,
Shut
yeah,
up.
you're on your own here.
No. But it was like, do you really need to have him have a thing with her too? It's awkward and nobody cares, and it's
Well,
just
they're
like,
blue,
you know,
which
I
just
don't know.
shows like how racist they
Well,
are.
and I also felt like Jennifer Lawrence was really uncomfortable in that fucking makeup too. And Jennifer Lawrence's makeup looked cheap
Well,
as fuck too.
but
Her
see,
shit
and I
was
think
way cheaper
there's a
looking
reason
this
for
time.
that, 'cause I think
look,
Jennifer
look at
Lawrence-
First Class. Look at First Class Mystique and look at this Mystique.
But I have a theory behind
Okay.
that. Because Jennifer Lawrence definitely did a lot more Rebecca Romaine badassness in this film. Mm-hmm. And I think they kind of had to go with like a different type of technique with putting on her costume
Yeah.
so that she was able to kind of do her badassness in this.
But you never saw her butt. You never saw her butt. There was never a butt shot. I was looking for it.
I wanted a butt shot.
There was no butt shots.
I love her. I love her butt.
You know,
She tries to hide her butt. I like it.
she tried to. Well, she successfully hid the butt.
Jennifer Lawrence
trouble finding her,
hashtag butt. Good job of not killing the character while making her
Yeah.
like
You know-
a pivotal part in the story.
I actually really
see,
like
this is-
Mystique in this
Yeah.
movie
All right.
because
So did I.
she served the plot perfectly.
But the
Like
thing
they
is-
represented her as like one of the most powerful mutants, and that's why she's such a threat. She can turn into anybody. She could do anything she wants.
Yeah, but like her plan
She could be
was like really
me right now.
Her plan was really faulty. I don't know. I wasn't. No. She was okay. I guess I should.
Okay,
say
how
that,
about the
but-
Sentinels? Because a lot of people had trouble.
The
problems
Dyson
with that.
Sentinels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before the movie came out,
well-
a lot of people were shit talking Sentinels.
Well, I'm
but-
still shit talking the Sentinels because
I loved them. They were
'cause
great in the movie.
It doesn't look like it was made in the 70s. They don't look like they were made in the 70s.
Compliment something first, then you can tear it apart.
It
First of
looks like
all,
a Dyson
they
vacuum.
worked in the movie.
I like
They worked
Dyson's
in the
products.
movie. They worked great in the movie. They served the story effectively.
I
Yes, it's more futuristic than it would have fit in the 70s, but it's comic books have always been like that with their technology stuff.
I don't
right?
understand though exactly how Magneto was controlling the thing by putting
he used
metal.
the metal in, to
Oh,
put
come
it
on.
into.
You can't compliment the Sentinels at all. You didn't love them.
I know. I didn't.
What?
I want to see a Sentinel because again, it's like I have something in my mind's eye that's so awesome that like this just sucks so
Okay.
bad comparatively. So it's like
Yes, but don't you realize it could have been 1,000 times worse? Can't you appreciate that it was
no,
fun?
I don't give them a cookie because it's a little worse.
All right.
It's like, I don't know.
I just like T-Bone's just like, say something nice about him.
That's- you know,
Please,
I've already-
just one good thing.
I've said a lot of good things about this movie, even though it's not. I'm
Just
not.
can't you be happy that it's purple?
Like it's not even.
Yeah.
It's not magenta. It's not magenta. Okay, they're terrified of magenta for some reason.
Look, in the grand scheme of interpreting things from movies, from comics, I mean, you could have had something like the Super
the
Mario
grand
Brothers
scheme,
scenario.
I would have
with
made it look
Koopa
better.
Troopers.
You know, it's not hard. I just do what's in the fucking comics. It's not it's not brain fucking surgery. You know, I mean, if it ain't
Just do it
broke,
with
don't
comics.
fix it.
But I mean, at some point, can't we just accept because what this franchise is? How old now? 12 years old, something like
Jeez,
that.
yeah.
But I mean, by now, we just accept that they're not going to do it like the comic.
Well, I know,
Yeah,
and, that,
I know,
and that's
right?
why. And,
That's all I'm trying to
I
get
know.
across to you.
Well,
It's like,
that's
just accept
why
it.
I give this movie a pass. Is because I've gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, it's never going to be what I want, so whatever. But Blink was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
She
Blink was good.
badass. I
thought Blink was cool.
She was really cool.
I was actually really impressed with Bishop.
Although I didn't get the
Bishop
Kitty
was pretty cool.
Kitty
Yeah,
Pryde
I
thing
love
was
Bishop.
kind of, Bishop was badass. Kitty Pryde though, what the fuck was that?
I mean, again, it's
What's your
just-
problem with Kitty Pryde?
Well, she doesn't have mind powers to send people into the past.
What are her powers?
Her powers are merely to phase through solid objects.
Well, don't forget, she was in part 3, and she was one of the
she
only
was?
good parts
Yeah, she was in part 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she was phasing there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was phasing
Oh,
that.
okay.
That's why
Yeah.
they set
Completely
the
wrong there.
precedent, and then you're like, oh man, why didn't you
I
say
never
something?
saw that part 3.
You,
Yeah. Good for
are
you.
geeked- Yeah, I'm happy for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone
Save
said it was
yourself.
terrible.
Well,
so.
I never saw that Wolverine Origins, so I've
Oh,
saved
God.
myself from
yeah,
that
you're
one.
Good.
Um,
I don't seem to
I
watch
actually
the
really
bad
like
films.
the Future Sentinels. What about you guys?
I liked them. I did.
They
I did.
presented them as like they were such a threat.
Again, it goes right along with the whole monochromatic thing. I would have liked to see, like, what were they called in Bishop's future? They weren't Sentinels. They were Nimrod.
yeah.
I would have liked to see, like, a more Nimrod, like, stoic, nothing stops it, like, unstoppable force coming after him. And they did do that with these Sentinels.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see them called Nimrods.
is
That would be
this
cool.
a picture of a Nimrod?
Mm-hmm.
But again, just accepting the fact that they're not going to do it like the comic book.
I don't know, man. Nimrod doesn't look that cool to me.
Oh no. Well, okay. Can we
Is that
talk?
a bad drawing?
Can we talk about the ending with Apocalypse? Because that's something I was really
Sure.
fucking bummed on.
All right, let's talk about the ending.
Because
So what happened in the end?
there's okay. So in the ending, if you stay for the credits, you see Apocalypse building a pyramid in 2 seconds. Apparently, who's everyone's like
Ooh, he's building a
and then I
pyramid.
didn't notice this, but apparently the 4 horsemen are in the background.
They're in the background.
I didn't notice that.
Yes, they are. I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah,
They're on
but
a hilltop.
but I was really disappointed that they didn't do the face lines. What the fuck? Again, it's like this is the problem that I have with the X-Men franchise is the fucking comic book shame they have. And it's like I know that they were like those lips would look weird and like normal people aren't going to understand
Yeah.
that. So like we can't put those on there. And it's like no, it's fucking fine. It's fucking fine. It's fine.
I saw a fan film that was done really well, and they put the Apocalypse lips in, and it looked great. And
I want T-Bone to do Apocalypse.
Okay, here's what
Oh, yeah,
Apocalypse is
see?
supposed to look like.
boom.
That is so dope.
it.
That is so dope.
That doesn't look anything like
And
what
for
the
those of
guy
you who
was
don't
in
know
the
who
movie.
Apocalypse is, he is the first mutant.
He is well.
And-
Selena.
Yeah,
not
fill me in.
Selena.
might
Fill
be
me in.
too.
Tell me all about him.
Or Celine. Celine. But he has really
Oh,
like
that's
he has
Rock.
like every I don't know, he has the power to
Oh, here's
manipulate.
what The Rock would look like if he played Apocalypse.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
kind
kind of cool with that.
It's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's a little awkward, but
But he's one of the first mutants, and I feel like they get kind of ambiguous.
well, yeah, he
I'll look
can
it up.
he
But-
can manipulate his molecules like his own, so he can
Yes.
make himself bigger, more dense, smaller, huge, really, and he can
And I think for
he
a
has
time
inner-
they also were playing with the idea that because he was the world's first mutant, he had like some control over other mutants.
yeah.
Like they couldn't, like like Dracula, like he would make you his bitch.
Right.
You
And then
know?
there was also some stuff about his suit, like whether it's helping him, like maybe I don't know. There's a whole. He's got a
Yeah.
lot of ambiguousness
Well,
That's
surrounding
what the
him.
A stands for, ambiguous.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Well, what
No.
was ambiguous to me is I wasn't quite sure. Okay, they show him in that scene just building the pyramids.
Right.
And what bothered me about that, I mean,
Because
sure,
we're big
it's
fans
cool.
of ancient Egypt.
Right.
And
What
pyramids
bothered
and
me
stuff.
about that is, if it's that easy for him to build one of the greatest accomplishments of mankind, then he's been really lazy for several thousand years since then.
Yeah.
You
like,
know, he's just
Whips that together and then, well, I'll take a nap or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. I'm just gonna chill out now. I'm tired.
If I had done that scene, I would have had him making it a little bit more challenge. Maybe one stone at a time, and then I can get the idea he built.
or
the
just
pyramids.
not building a pyramid. I mean, like yeah, like he has. Ancient things, and he has his ancient halls and shit like that. And
Yeah,
I
he
don't
has
know, like
the living ship.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a whole bunch of weird shit. But the thing though that kind of bothered me about the Apocalypse thing was just like it felt like, okay, we're gonna get him excited with something, but we really don't know what the fuck we're doing. Like we don't know what we're doing for the
know
next
what?
one,
Well, it
and
could've
we're
been
just
tagged
gonna.
on at the end real
That's
late
what it
in the
was
game.
though. It's like it was kind of.
Okay, here we go. This kind of explains more of. I forgot about this, and you guys can totally give me a hard time about it. I don't care. I forgot. He merged himself with celestial technology. That's why he's got the ship. And the celestial technology augmented his stuff even more. He does have, points to 19, power over the molecules of his body, enabling him to alter his
Yes.
form as it suits him. such as allowing his body to become extremely malleable and flexible or change its size. He's the cooler version of Mr. Fantastic. I'm sorry.
He's kind of Evan here, though. He's kind of Genesis.
He's a little bit more. Yeah,
he's skinny. I'm hoping that he's skinny because he's younger here, and not because that's what he's going to look like later on.
I hope this is like this is when he just
when he's like, I'm just figuring my shit out, whatever.
Yeah, he has displayed telepathy. He has displayed telekinesis. He's also capable of technopathy. Able to
where he can communicate with technology.
Various technologies.
Yeah.
That might be the celestial thing.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot about Apocalypse, guys.
No, he's got a lot of weird powers.
Yeah.
He can just kind of do whatever.
He's intelligent. He's a scientific genius. He, including physics and engineering, biology.
All of it.
So he's
anything.
He's the best.
What can't he do?
Defeat the X-Men.
Wipe his ass. His arms are so big.
Believe it or not, he's horrible at playing Simon.
He's bad at darts.
All right, well, that answers it then.
Never figured out the geometry in playing pool.
So is there anything else we need to say about Days of Future Past? I mean, overall, I loved it. This is a movie, I would buy it on Blu-ray. How about you guys?
I would not, and I hope you don't waste our money on it, so.
Wait, why are you shit-talking all of a sudden?
I'm not shit. I don't think it was... I don't really particularly
I think it's solid.
want to watch it ever.
I'm not going to own it.
Yeah.
I thought it was solid. If it's on cable, I'll stop what I'm doing and watch it.
You guys are crazy. You don't deserve a movie that's good.
Come on. You know, see,
have you seen those other X-Men movies?
This fucking guy.
Awful.
Get out of here.
No, I see where you're coming from. You're right. But I've seen how shitty the other movies are. Right?
Yeah, but again,
this is a tenfold improvement over how shitty the original three movies were.
But again, I can't give it a huge cookie for being better than crap. You know, it's just like, I'll say yes, it's better than it was, and I'm glad that they're getting it back on track. And I hope that I'm really...
Hey, you know what? That's a good point. I'm really glad that they're spending millions upon millions of dollars to fix the franchise.
And I'm hoping that the next one is going to be the one that I'm going to be more excited about. Because I love the 80s. I want to see young Jean Grey Scott, because they're supposed to recast, supposedly.
They're going to do that.
You know, and I'm down for that. I would love to see that. And then again, it's in the 80s, so Dazzler, they're going to cast me, so I'm going to be in it.
They retconned the entire thing. You have that final scene when he's fully like, oh, old friend, you're finally back after the whole thing. Yeah. Like, maybe that's where they take off from there. And we get Kelsey Grammer being Beast again. And James Marsden... maybe with a better director doing a better Cyclopse?
No, he's already too lame. They already ruined... He has already attached to that terrible... It's not his fault, necessarily. I'm not blaming it all on Marsden, but he's just, in my mind, I don't ever want to see him ever as Cyclops, ever. Plus, he's not tall enough.
Well,
gotta get the tall, slim,
Lord knows he's not going to do another Superman film.
Anyway. All right.
No, Lord knows Bryan Singer probably is not going to be doing any more films for a while either.
All right, so I'm just playing devil's advocate. I mean,
No, and I appreciate it.
No,
it's...
I agree that, yes, the comic book, if they interpret it literally from the comic book, that would be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get you to calm down on the fact that that's not going to happen anytime
soon.
soon.
I'm just afraid because we put out that Raw vlog, everyone's like,
I'll never
comic book.
calm down over this.
Everyone's like, Comic Girl 19 said it was great. And I was like,
that was one person.
There was a couple people that said it, and it really made me like... I didn't say I loved it, people.
So the official record is you really liked it for what it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. It will never be the X-Men that you have in your mind.
It was a step in the right direction, and I can appreciate that.
It was really good for the movie franchise.
Yes.
All right. Anything else we need to say about this movie?
No.
All right, moving on. Okay.
Apocalypse Lips.
Let's talk about other movies we saw. We saw Neighbors, and I
liked it.
I liked it. Yeah.
It was fine. You
didn't see it, did you?
Didn't see it.
There was a couple. I mean, it wasn't a perfect film. It wasn't completely solid necessarily. But I thought I kind of rooting for Zac Efron.
I was really surprised that I liked Zac Efron in the movie. I've never seen a movie that he's in before. Mm-hmm. I understand he's in some kind of...
You didn't watch any of the High School Musicals, dude?
Is that what it is?
Why are you even at this table?
Sorry, I'm way too cool for that.
Yeah. But
I never did either. Don't worry, it's fine.
I thought it was pretty good though. It was fun to watch. I wouldn't say I'd say rent it at Redbox. I don't know if it's like a go out and see it in the theater
pretty much
situation.
We never really go and see comedy movies in the theaters, really.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. It wasn't great, but I ended up thinking. Here's my measure of if a movie's good or not. If I ended up thinking about it the next day or the day after, then something stuck with me in that film. I must have liked it, and I ended up thinking about this movie.
Yeah.
I think if I'm excited to tell somebody that I saw the film, I'm like, dude, it was really good. Yeah. There's times when I walk out of the theater, I'm like, man, I need to call somebody, but no one's seen it yet. So.
Yeah. Well, there's been movies that I've watched and I'm like, oh, that was a lot of fun. I really like that. And then a week goes by. I'm like
Edge
I never
of Tomorrow.
thought about it since then.
Yeah.
It's like Edge of Tomorrow. I completely dumped it the next day. I was like, meh, moving on with my life. Like,
I didn't keep thinking about Edge of Tomorrow.
What
That's why
else?
I feel so rusty.
What else did we see?
I feel rusty in a lot of topics we're talking about because we saw them so long ago.
I know. What else have we seen though? We saw. Oh, can we talk about Godzilla for just a hot second?
Sure.
I just want to say one thing about Godzilla. So we put out a review about it, and this is like, it's a very polarizing film, it seems, because there's two reactions that I get when I talk to people about Godzilla, because I've been kind of going around and asking people if they've seen it and stuff in my own life.
I really need to be good
And I get two things. I say, this is what I say to people when I'm talking about Godzilla. I say, man, I can't believe that people are like talking shit about it, And then I get two reactions back. I either get, well, I mean, I didn't like Aaron Taylor Johnson. I didn't believe the family, blah, 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 blah. Or I get, wait, what were people upset about? It's like one of those things where people are like immediately like, oh yeah, blah, 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 or wait, what? People are upset about this film? And this is what I get a lot from people on Twitter. They're like, well, did you really believe this family? And blah, blah. It's like, I don't give a fuck about this family. I don't give a fuck about this family. I was here to see fucking Godzilla, and Godzilla fucking nailed it, and I got what I fucking wanted, and I was happy. Like, that's all I wanted. Like,
Godzilla's the main character.
I don't need a fucking family story. I don't give a fuck about the family.
Well,
like, it's fine that they're bland.
It's not like another movie where you have expectations you hold up to it.
Yeah.
It was zero expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And
So when does Matthew Broderick show up?
Yeah, he was killed actually in the fray.
Oh,
So
awesome.
yeah,
Great.
but
that was my favorite scene.
Man,
No, it was a lot of fun. The battles were a lot of fun.
I just lived vicariously through him too. It's like, because I got a lot of problems that I want to smash, and I just like watching him smash his problems.
I think the deal is people just had expectations because they watched all these trailers, and the trailers
they got all
were
hyped
really
up,
good.
and
Going back and watching those retroactively, that was an art in itself. Those trailers.
They did the Jaws thing.
Yeah, and like
That was
it's
really
like
cool.
I like that they didn't overuse him. I don't need to see a flashlight up his asshole, like everybody else in the world wants to see every fucking everything. And it's like I'm fine with just seeing him here and there,
By the way, flashlight up his asshole. That's in your minds now too.
Yeah, that's I think I don't know. I come from a different, I don't know, something. With all the CGI stuff, it's like that's what they're always trying to do is just show you every little thing. And I appreciate that they didn't try to do that.
Okay.
It's like.
And then the director, Gareth Edwards.
Oh, yeah.
He's doing another big movie. He's signed on to do what?
He's going to do a Star Wars solo film.
Star Wars film.
Yep.
Oh,
Was he doing the Boba Fett movie?
I think what they're going to do is he's not going to do any of the new trilogy, but he's going to do one of the standalones that happens in between the films.
But is that going to be like the Han Solo thing?
Maybe the Boba Fett thing, or maybe like a different idea.
Which I still think that's a bad idea, but whatever.
Which one?
Boba Fett.
Get the hell out of here.
Well, no, because it's like he's so cool because you don't see him. Again, it's cool. He's cool because you don't know Again, you don't have a flashlight up his asshole, so you know every fucking thing about him. It's like I like the mystery.
I think.
Well,
I would like
they
to
already
see,
kind of ruined the mystery when they did his dad in the prequels, so that doesn't even matter
I
anymore.
guess
So
that's
I think I like the idea of
I don't
let's
even think
do
about
a
that,
Boba
though.
Fett film where he is just in the costume being Boba Fett. Let's kind of forget. I mean, let's seriously. How many of us are still drinking away the memory of episodes 1, 2, and 3? We're trying to like.
See, I don't even.
Yeah, they don't exist. So
that is becoming the overwhelming perspective, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's just.
I want to see
Culture is
those
decided.
movies where fuck Jedi. I don't want to see any Jedi. I think that's why I'm excited about having a Han Solo and a Boba Fett movie, because I want to see the smuggling, the bounty hunters, the criminal organizations. That was so well developed in just the little time that we had with Han Solo and the Wookiees, and seeing that the Empire used bounty hunters to do their dirty work.
Right.
I will watch that fucking Star Wars universe all day.
Okay, this is
Like you don't have to put a Jedi in there. Fuck the Jedi.
We were listening to some podcast. I can't remember who it was, but we were listening to somebody, and they were talking about though, like how when Han Solo says like, well, I can't remember the fucking line because I'm not one of those people who knows all the lines, but
We're hungover. Please excuse.
Where he's talking about someone's like that hunk of junk, and he's like, this hunk of junk in 10 parsecs did the whatever
made
run.
the Keppel fly or something.
The Kessel Run.
The Kessel Run. The Kessel Run. And that's the thing. It's like, I don't want to see the fucking Kessel Run. I like imagining it in my brain because it's more fun when you imagine it. And then when you show it, it's never going to live up to what you're fucking in your brain.
I don't think they're going to show the Kessel Run.
I hope they don't.
I mean, hell, they even showed Kirk doing the Kobayashi Maru. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It can be done right.
Well, but that's a test. That's a test.
But it was
fun. You can show a test, but
a story of
but
legend.
I mean, yeah, but it works.
It's I think they could do it.
So how do you feel, Kirk? You're a big fan of Star Wars.
Yeah, you're a resident
excited?
Star Wars guy.
Yeah, you are a Star Wars expert. Declared now. So are you excited? What do you think?
I'm really excited. I think JJ is going to knock it out of the park. I think.
Are you going to be running to the theater screaming and shouting when it comes out?
Man,
Although-
I'll be there overnight. I won't be the guys that were at the Chinese theater 10 years ago, but I will be one of those guys that I will have to be at a midnight showing.
I have not. I mean, obviously, I'm not.
They're doing practical effects, guys.
They are, and that's JJ. I mean, he does a lot of practical stuff,
Yeah,
and that's
that
really,
is a
and I
good
respect
sign.
that. And I will say this: I'm not super excited because I feel like Star Wars has enough fucking fans. They don't need me, so I'm just like resisting it. But they did get me with that casting of Lupita and fucking Brienne of Tarth, and I was like, oh, now they got me. They got
who are
my
they playing?
girls.
That's
And
cool.
I don't
I didn't know
know.
about
I don't
that.
know, but I'm
And I
excited.
kind of don't want to know.
Yeah.
Like, this is a movie where I just want to know that it's being made. Yeah,
Who's
practical
that
effects,
thing?
guys.
I'm in.
You're in? Oh, now you're in. You see
That's
this
so
and you're
cute.
in.
That's so cute. I don't know what it is,
Yeah.
but I
That
love
looks
it.
1,000 times better than the CGI
This
from
is
the prequels.
the thing he did where
That's
they did an announcement where like if you donate money, which I totally did this, we'll try to put it up in the links. If you donate money, you get a small cameo in the film. And while he's talking to the camera, they had this creature walk by, and he purposely stopped and kind of interacted with the character for a second, so you knew it was practical effects.
Yeah.
This puppet looks fun.
That looks awesome.
Yeah.
They're building these sets. You should see.
Now this
Although, I don't know,
feels
it's
like
just-
the original Star Wars.
although it's
This
like-
feels right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Which, by
starting
the
to
way,
get excited.
Can I tell you like what my fantasy cameo is in Star Wars?
Yes.
Okay, every time they had guys in like one of the starfights, and it was either an X-wing fighter or like one of the guys in the A-wings or like Gold Team or anything like that. I always just wanted to have that one shot where it's the only time you ever see me, and I'm like, I can't shake, and I just blow up. Like I always wanted to be like Bacon or like one of the guys on Wedge's team. Porkins. Someone did like a pop culture portrait of him a long time ago. With it was Porkins eating bacon right before he blows up.
Alright, we
But-
gotta stop for a minute. Take a break.
Okay. I gotta
Okay.
We're gonna take a break, and we'll be back after this commercial. This freaking commercial. It's a commercial.
All right, how about that commercial, guys? And we're back.
And we're back.
Sweet commercial, dude.
All right. Okay, so here we go. Let's finish it up.
Alrighty.
I want to talk about Jupiter Ascending. I was really excited about that, and I was very disappointed to find out that it was been delayed and pushed back to 2017 in movie
2017?
2015. Sorry.
Wow.
No, next
Yeah.
year. It's coming out in like February or March next year.
Okay.
And I was excited about it because it's a Wachowski siblings movie,
Yeah.
and
Siblings, well played.
yeah, man, I'm disappointed. But it was a crowded summer, and I can understand why they did that. And it might be better for them at the box office because, G.I. Joe, they did the same thing. It was supposed to come out in 2012 in the summer.
Right.
During Avengers and all that
And
mess.
there's all those bombs going on with Battleship and like.
Right. And it was made by Hasbro.
And,
They
John
had
Carter.
had it open in February, March, and it was huge. It made tons of money.
Yeah.
Even though it was a huge stinker, we saw it. Well,
Yeah,
kids
still,
love it. But,
from a marketing
Yeah.
standpoint, it was a really good move, actually.
yeah.
Rob Liefeld
So-
loved it. He did.
And that's all you need to know about that review.
I don't know. Anything you guys care? I don't know. Maybe
No,
am
I
I the
do-
one?
Well, the thing is, I don't know enough about it. I mean, I'm excited about it, but like, because I haven't done any research about it or anything like that. It's like, I don't know.
It was one of the movies I was looking forward to the most, other than Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'd like to see a real sci-fi movie. I would be tickled pink to see a real sci-fi movie, not a faux sci-fi action flick.
Yeah, they always seem to have something that their movies are about that I'm excited about.
Wait, guys,
Yeah.
I got a great idea for a film. G.I. Joe in space.
Can't wait.
All right.
Can't wait. Let's do it.
Sold. Okay, moving on. So, other than HBO's show Game of Thrones, we've started to watch some more HBO shows. They've got a lot of good stuff, man.
How
about Silicon Valley?
Silicon Valley.
Yeah. It's so good. So good. And as
Smart writing, smart acting,
Yeah.
great casting,
great
to begin
characters.
with.
I know. It's so good. And as somebody who has kind of a small weird business, there's a lot that I could relate to that I found myself being like, oh my
yeah?
gosh, that's the same problems that we have to deal with, even though they're more tech based and stuff like that. But
How
the
so?
stuff that they have to deal with is
You mean
cracks
the
me up.
having to create a business when you have no idea what you're doing?
Yes, all that, and then make it happen, and then you have all this nonsense
And,
going
like,
on,
overnight success,
and then you
suddenly
have
you do stuff.
you got competition that's like all these like super professional people who are like crazy funded and stuff like
Right.
that.
Okay. So, okay. So, if you haven't seen the show, fill people in. What's it about? Why should they watch it?
Okay, so this kid, Richard, he comes up with an idea called Pied Piper. And originally it's going to be for some stupid website that nobody cares about. But then they find out...
It's like an app, right?
It's like a thing where you can... Well, you can play your music and then compare it to every other song ever made to see if it's already been done before. Or something stupid like that. But then they find out that he's compressed, like he's found this crazy new compression method that no one's ever thought of before.
It's going to revolutionize the entire computing industry.
Yeah, and it's going to be this big thing, and then Hooli finds out about it.
Hooli, which is like a sort of a maybe
like
Google,
a Google type, situation. They find out about it. They offer him $10 million. Gavin Belson of Hooli, who's this ridiculous, really funny, out of control character who owns Hooli, who's like this, faux spiritual dickhead. He offers him $10 million, and Richard turns him down for Gavin Belson, or not Gavin Belson, for
Peter Gregory.
Peter Gregory, who's Gavin Belson's rival. And Peter Gregory says, I just want 20%. I'll give you like $50,000, and you can make your own company. Yeah, as a startup. Yeah. So he decides, instead of taking $10 million and giving his shit away to Gavin Belson, he's going to make his own company. So he's already living in this think tank with all these other guys. Who is
T.J. Miller plays Erlich Bachman.
Yeah, Erlich Bachman.
Great cast of characters.
I know.
Because the best thing is they casted comedians.
Yeah.
And
Erlich Bachman, the guy who plays him, he was in
T.J. Miller.
He was in Cloverfield. He was HUD
He's the
in
guy
Cloverfield.
holding the camera, doing all the commentary.
God, he is so funny in this too.
I've seen Erlich in a couple of other things. He's been in some failed sitcoms over the last 5-10 years and never really hit before, but finally he's got something.
Please go back and watch his stand-up, because I personally have been trying to champion T.J. Miller, and he is
And then
awesome.
I love Guilfoyle and Dinesh. Those two characters crack me up. They're like these two...
They got a really funny rivalry
going on. They have a frenemy thing going on between... They're very competitive friends. But Guilfoyle is a Satanist.
Yes, and it's played by Martin Starr, who you would know from like Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah.
And he's from the whole Judd Apatow crew. Mm-hmm. And he is pretty much the king of the deadpan delivery.
Oh my gosh. And it was so funny. He was at a conference, and he's talking to some guy, and he goes, "Oh man, I just love it. It feels like I've died and gone to hell." And the guy's like, "What?" And he's like, and then Dinesh is like, "He's a Satanist. Like, don't."
That's a good thing for him. Don't worry, it's fine.
Yeah, like he's into that sort of shit. But and that's also a funny thing to see is I've never seen a modern Satanist to be depicted on television in any manner, shape, or form, and I think that they do a really good job. It's like this is what it is. Like, it's not a big fucking deal.
People
They're just fucking people like everybody else.
And I think the show does a really great job of representing how awkward, socially awkward these computer geeks are.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Without making you, despise them, you still really like their characters.
Now, things about the show I like, it's Mike Judge, Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
And he actually spent a lot of time doing office work and is derived from his own experiences in Silicon Valley. It's where we got Office Space from.
Yeah.
Which, according to him, was exactly what his work environment looked like.
Yeah.
So it's really written from a very smart point of view, where you get all the years of Mike Judge and his writing and his projects coupled with his life experiences. Like, seems like this is the perfect project.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because this is so accurate. It feels like someone lived this life to know
exactly
what it would be like
where
to
they're
live with a
coming
bunch
from.
of programmers.
Yeah.
And then make something. That's what's so amazing. It's about guys programming an app. And somehow it's fascinating and so much fun and hilarious.
Yeah. It's not an app.
And then things about Mike Judge writing that, like, you watch King of the Hill, and it's always Hank Hill finding himself in the most awkward situation because of a simple, like, miscommunication or a misunderstanding. So if you're the type of person who, like, cringes at that type of situational comedy, this is actually kind of for you, because those weird, strange awkwardness, like, oh my god, what's going to happen next moments, kind of work out for the characters.
Yeah.
Like, it's really weird how that works out.
Well, I like Richard. He's the main guy. He's just too cute. He's played really well. And I really like Dunn too, Jared, the guy that they were doing this app for like facial recognition app, and the joke is that like nobody ever thinks about him, like he's always in the background and nobody really cares about him. And like they tried to do the facial recognition app on him and it just wouldn't show up.
Yeah, that's really funny.
But
a lot of funny bits.
Such a bummer that the guy who's playing Peter Gregory,
too bad.
Christopher Evan Welsh died during the filming of this. And
Wait, really?
Yeah.
You've seen the last 2 episodes, right?
Yeah.
Did you notice he wasn't in them?
Oh my God!
He
I
died
did not
during
know this.
filming.
Yeah, cancer, big C, man.
Yeah.
Sucks.
And he was so
He
hilarious.
was so good. I mean,
he was a steam
and the way
stealer.
that he wouldn't look people in the eyes and stuff when he talked to them, and obviously, like, he's like super genius person. I haven't talked to super genius people, but I have talked to people who will not look you in the eye, and they're super awkward, and like he totally nailed that role.
Because there was there's little parts where they have the big charity event, and he gets carried in like he's a pharaoh god on the backs of some people, and Florida is the guy who is opening up the convention party, and he leaves, and they introduce him. He's like, yes, and I'd like to thank my good friend Florida.
Yeah.
His delivery.
Yeah.
His delivery is completely unique.
I loved his scene where he's Burger King.
I was just going to bring that up.
The Burger King scene where he wants to have everything from BK, and then he ends up coming up with this idea about sesame seeds. And it's just, I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but it was a really fantastic scene.
I mean, every episode's only a half hour long, and I almost get frustrated.
I know. It's
I could do an hour of this. Every time.
Yeah.
And I think there's only 8 episodes the first season.
But it's so great. It just shows like all the ups and downs and like how crazy it is, like trying to make a business and just like all the weird shit that comes up and you got to deal with, and it's super good. I enjoyed the scene a lot where Richard was trying to find Ritalin for that whiz kid.
And he's shaking down the neighborhood kids for it.
And he's and then that kid like slaps him, and then Ehrlich finds him. He's like, "What happened? What's going on?" And he's like, "Who did this to you?" And then he finds that kid and just like throws his fucking bike and just like fucking slaps the shit out of it. It was just
completely
so good.
Just not appropriate, but it's fantastic how it works out.
Ehrlich is so funny. Like, he really cracks me up. I love him. And I loved in the season finale where they're having the conversation about how many people he could jerk off.
That's where he gets the idea for the new compression.
Don't spoil it.
I don't want to talk about it just for that
We're gonna
scene
bleep that.
alone.
Yeah.
Just for that whole thing alone.
But they start getting into all the mathematical situations.
Because if you put them, I don't even want to talk about it because it's so embarrassing.
I have no idea how well the show's doing, though. I haven't heard any news about it.
Well,
hopefully it's getting a second season.
Hopefully we're helping it. So
yeah. So check it out so that they'll make sure they make. I would love to see this show keep going for season after season.
Yeah. I had so much fun watching the show.
One of my new favorite shows.
Yeah.
Speaking of new favorite shows, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver is another show on HBO that I'm really getting into.
Yeah.
This guy's doing a news show, which, I don't know, that might sound boring to some of you, but he really talks about stuff that's going on in the world that I didn't know, a lot of stuff I didn't know about. And, like he did a whole 13-minute segment on the FIFA soccer organization. I know nothing about it, don't watch soccer, but it was fascinating and found out, they're a really corrupt organization responsible for some really bad stuff.
Yeah.
So he's doing stories like that. It's really interesting.
The thing that I really liked about his stuff is, you watch things like The Daily Show, and they just touch on a lot of topics, and they make a quick joke, and then they move on, and things like that. Whereas he picks, like, I don't know, what, like 4 topics?
Yeah, it's only like 3 topics sometimes.
Like 3 or 4 topics, and then just really, like, goes into it. And, like, again, that's kind of what we do, is, like, I like it when people go in depth on something. That's obviously what I'm into. So I like that he does that.
A lot of shows are afraid to do that. They're like, oh no, someone's getting bored.
And
we gotta just keep moving on.
You can tell there's a lot of research that goes into it, that I really appreciate.
Definitely.
And it's really good humor. I mean, I've been really, because I'm not like, I don't love news stuff and political and whatever, because it just bums me out. But I was really surprised to find myself really enjoying.
They made this show for you. You realize that, right?
Well,
like, how can we get that person to watch our show about news?
I know, but it's just, you start thinking
did.
about how awful the world is, and then it's just depressing, and you're just like, ugh, like, I just, like, somebody was asking, one time someone was asking Grant Morrison, they're like, oh, what do you think about all this NSA stuff? And he's like, what? Like, and they were just trying to explain to him, he's like, look, I don't deal with anything having to do with the real world. Like, I don't deal with any of that nonsense. And I'm like, that's where I want to be in my life. Like, I just don't want to. Like, fuck it. Like, I don't want to deal with it because it's just nonsense mostly anyways.
That's awesome.
Okay, and final
Tesla
topic.
Motors.
Yeah, a news story. We'll throw in a news story. Why not?
Hey, in
it's
honor of John
exciting
Oliver.
Sure.
It's
It's
unresearched.
news and it's interesting to us, so.
It's in honor of Kirk's dog, Tesla.
Yes.
Right?
That's
We have a
exactly
dog
why we
named
decided
Tesla.
to do this.
So Tesla Motors, the company, has opened up their patents to all car companies, right?
Over 200 patents, I believe.
Yeah, so...
That's unprecedented, especially for
Yeah.
a company like this who is trying to revolutionize how you're doing business,
Yeah.
especially in the automotive industry.
And which is obviously an institution that is old,
No,
bloated,
and it's-
done. Let's do something new.
It's like, and why are you talking about this, guys? Here's why. There are actual states that are not allowing Tesla to do
Sell their-
business.
yeah.
Because their business model is so different and would actually put
Threatens
out,
them,
It
yeah.
threatens the status quo.
Yeah.
They actually are a storefront. You probably go to the mall.
Yeah.
And it's a storefront that has two of the models that they basically sell right now. And they have a sales guy there. And the sales guy literally just shows you around the car, shows you what it's capable of.
Yeah.
And then you go, great, I want it. And then you go home and you order it online and they deliver it to you.
Yeah. Nice.
That's
Well, you know what? I don't know. I can't remember what I was watching, but something was saying that they were talking about asking people what the most stressful life experiences are. And buying a car was really high on that list of like stressful life experiences.
that's a little bit of a first world problem, but yeah.
Well,
for a
yeah,
regular
but I
person
mean,
in
but it's like
America, or-
going and like dealing with it, and you have the salesman, and then they're, and you always think you're getting ripped off, and it's just
Right,
this
so it's a
fucking,
great idea that they're selling them like
and
computers.
it's great
in a store.
that it doesn't have to. The thing is, it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be like that. It can be easy and simple and not a big fucking deal, and not like make you want to kill
Well,
yourself.
what's really great is there's a company, an independent company, separate from the big car manufacturing giants,
Right.
that's building a car that's fully electric. And so I don't know if you guys have read this Onion article that really breaks down, the Onion articles are hilarious.
Right.
Not
Well,
Onion,
as
oatmeal.
always.
Sorry, oatmeal.
Oh.
I'm hungover. Guys. The oatmeal
Oatmeal.
articles are really great, and the oatmeal author, had a Tesla car for the last 6 months, and he talks about how great they are.
Have
But
you
there's
been in
still
one?
like huge naysayers about these things out there.
Dude, have you been in one?
No,
I have.
I haven't actually even seen one before.
They're sexy as hell,
No,
man.
they're very sexy. They're very
Oh
sexy.
yeah, I'm sure they don't have a door handle or something. It pops out.
Dude, one of the guys that comes to the place I work at had one and took me for a ride in it, a couple blocks.
Did he touch
Man,
you?
it's yeah, but I was okay because I was mesmerized by the car.
It was worth it.
It was great. Show me on the toy where he touched you. It's a damn sexy car.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's got like those fucking. I hate Priuses because you can't tell they're right behind you before they run you down. But it's like that. There's no noise. It's just this purely electric,
Although as
sexy beast of a machine
Although, as
car.
someone who grew up in 70s muscle cars, man, there's nothing better than just sitting in a car and it bouncing. It's like, do, 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 do.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just like, I feel the power underneath me. I
No,
love
I
it.
get it. I
But
grew
yes,
up with
but the,
guys racing cars. I get it.
But the Tesla, I'm sure, is
Well, it's a
sexy.
sexy car.
Uber
The reason I was bringing it up is I was, thought it was really cool that Tesla was saying it's impossible for us to build electric cars fast enough to address the carbon crisis, and our true competition is not the small trickle of non-Tesla electric cars being produced, but rather the enormous flood of gasoline cars being poured out of the world's factories every day.
Yeah.
So they're doing this
Ooh.
so that they can help the world and help the environment. And, the other companies with their whole gasoline thing.
And this means like
wars are started over this.
Yeah, I mean, this
So
means
it's
the
good
big
that some independent company is trying to fix a problem.
yeah,
in
and the
world.
big auto companies will have access to this.
Yeah.
There is no
they
excuse
don't have an
anymore.
excuse. Yeah, they don't have
there's no
excuses
excuses anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting to see how this is going to develop. I'm really interested to see what goes on after this. I mean,
Right, they're probably going to start making up some bullshit to be like, oh, we can't because of this.
State regulations, because our senator that's been bought off.
Pretty much.
They made a law.
Well, anyway,
Because we're all in
well,
this
just
together.
good on them. This is amazing.
so I don't know.
What else
Let's
we
talk
got?
about comics, guys.
Oh my God, that's right. We do comics too.
Right. What are you guys reading right now?
What should we talk about? I kind of decided to. I get yelled at. I don't read enough DC, so I started
don't read any
reading
DC.
some DC.
Anything good?
And let's just start off with the big one. I'm 2 years late, and I'm the first person to admit it. Wonder Woman by Brian Azzarello.
It's good?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Really?
Brian was first of all, he's from 100 Bullets, or he does like a lot of great, crime noir. Honestly, he's a great comic book writer. You can pick up any of his stuff and you'll be okay. He took over Wonder Woman when they did the new 52. And I can't believe how easily accessible he made the Greek gods and Wonder Woman's entire mythology really easy to grasp. All the characters are not just relatable, but they're like contemporary.
Yeah.
He made Greek gods contemporary.
Yeah.
He explains Wonder Woman's backstory and origins because of what the first arc is about in such a fantastic way that there shouldn't be any question if you read this, like, now you know about Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
It is awesome. It's starring Hermes. You've got Hera, and we're dealing with, once again, the fallout of what happens when Zeus is not faithful to Hera
around
and likes to,
it's
hit
like, when is
Earth
she
and
gonna
have
learn?
some
When is
fun.
she gonna learn?
And Hera is the most jealous of gods because her husband can't keep it in the pants.
No, cannot.
And so we're chasing down one of Zeus's many bastard offspring, and it's up to Wonder Woman to protect her. And you find out all the family ties and the fallout because of this. It is fantastic. I cannot recommend it enough. I am definitely going to pick up volumes 2 and 3.
Okay.
Go do it. What else do we have?
You tell us.
Okay.
So
other stuff that I've been reading. Moon Knight. I've been screaming Moon Knight forever. It's Warren Ellis. They finally figured out a way to tell Moon Knight in a really great way because they gave it to a really great author.
Yeah.
Each story is self-contained. I've been talking about it for a while. This issue is the first one I bought when I was picking up my stack from the last 2 weeks. And after I read it, I didn't even want to read any of the other comics anymore because it was such a great standalone issue and it blew my fucking mind.
Moon Knight's really been doing it. And I love the art in it too. And I love how simplistic the art is.
Show me some of the art.
This is...
you can open that, right?
This is...
the coloring is very simple blocks of color, and I think it really works really well.
I'm liking... there's
I love
something
the suit
cool
that
about,
he does, and
he's just a fucking pimp in this.
Yeah.
He's also very sure of himself. I like the fact that whenever anybody calls him out as being insane, he goes, "Yes, I'm pretty sure I am too."
It's like, yeah, I'm
because
crazy.
he's got multiple
I get
personalities, and he received his powers from the Khonshu, and it's just a great use of space.
Which is an Egyptian god of the moon.
Yeah.
A male moon god. Usually the moon is a goddess for a lot of cultures. But.
And this issue, in typical Warren Ellis style, gets just fucking trippy and psychedelic.
I love his little moon-shaped glider that he glides around on. I think that's
it's
really
been a really
awesome.
great rethinking of Moon Knight without destroying the character. I'm really sad because there's only 2 more issues with this creative team, and then I think Brian Wood's taking over.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Which is a bummer because I feel like Warren Ellis just... I don't think he wants to write superheroes anymore.
Yeah.
Like his best stuff is when he's not writing superheroes, but my favorite stuff is when he's writing superheroes. So speaking of Warren Ellis and not writing superheroes, he's got his first issue of a new Image comic called Trees.
What is Trees about?
Trees.
I have not picked up
Trees.
Trees.
It's taking place in, I think is still going to be Earth in the future. We're only getting glimpses of it.
Remember Trees the movie?
Trees the movie. This makes me...
There's a parody funny...
A viewer sent us Trees the movie, and it's a parody of Jaws, except instead of having a shark, it was a tree.
That's scary.
A carnivorous tree. Dumb. Anyways, and it would eat people.
But it's a shot for shot.
But it was a shot.
That makes sense.
It's a shot for shot remake from Jaws, but with the trees instead of the sharks. So it's kind of fun for that aspect.
And the thing is, Jaws is so good that this is kind of good because it is shot for shot.
It makes you realize how brilliant Jaws is when you watch this movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well,
I believe that was Sean J. McCoy that sent that to me. I believe.
We'll check that out.
So, which he also painted me a Jaws painting that I need to hang in my house and show everybody because it's totally awesome.
It's a fun bad movie to check out if you're...
I love fun bad movies. Yeah. So Trees is by Warren Ellis, and it's taking place in a future or a possible Earth, but these big, giant,
alien
cylindrical things have come down from the heavens.
And they're sucking up the Earth stuff?
Not sucking up, even worse, spewing down poison.
Oh.
And it's completely random. You never know when. And they don't know how to fight them back.
Oh, I got to pick that up.
Yeah, and it's this really weird, crazy notion where it's years later, and literally humanity is just dealt with it. Mm-hmm. They can't do anything about it.
Right, they just...
And you never know when, this weird toxic poison is going to come down to the Earth. And
that's neat. I like that art,
saturate
too.
It. Yeah,
love
This is very, very cool. And I'm wondering, they're kind of hinting at the fact that maybe the poison is starting to affect the Earth a little bit.
Yeah.
And it might be either terraforming or maybe, who knows, actually...
Maybe we're like a garbage planet.
Yeah, or maybe...
They're dumping our
maybe
garbage.
we'll find out
garbage
that
on our
it's
planet.
supposed to help us.
Yeah. I'm definitely interested in trees.
Trees
I
is
wanna
great.
pick that
Please
up.
pick that up. The other one that we were talking about last time we did the episode, and I picked
Southern
up part
Bastards,
2.
yeah.
Southern Bastards by Jason Aaron. I have never had a comic book where I'm really excited and want to dive into the issue really quickly, but I have anxiety reading it.
Yeah.
Emotionally, it goes back and forth. There are characters that are so well fleshed out in just a few panels that right away, immediately, you know whether you like them or hate them.
Yeah.
I immediately, in the very first issue, sympathize with the main character.
May I see that for just a second?
Yeah, and I'll show some art off about it.
Yeah, the art's like really cool.
but
Jason Latour.
It's written by Jason Aaron, who is from the South.
Yeah.
And
he's from Jasper, Alabama.
And the story is almost like, if you have an idea of what you think the South is and you've never been there, this comic feeds right off of it.
I wish that we
paints
had
a picture of exactly what you think the South is.
I wish that we had the first issue. It's somewhere downstairs. I don't know where.
You know, football.
All
Football's
that.
a religion.
Yeah, from college football people. NFL, not so much, but college football's the deal. But
And people, I mean, I love the art.
But the way, like, Jason Aaron at the back of the book, and also Latour, they both wrote a little thing about the South and, you know, living there and what it means to them. And what Jason Aaron wrote was just spot on. I mean, I've never read a better description of the South. And, you know, again, I'm from Alabama, so is T-Bone. And it just talks about how it's one of those places that you love and you hate, and that's like very, like, it's like a lazy, slow place, but it's also terribly violent, and it's also haunted at the same time, and that, you know, it's just this very primal place, you know. And I think that, I don't know, he's totally nailing the ambiance.
Absolutely.
I would say, especially
like
as a small town.
I'm getting anxiety when I read it. What else? We've been sticking with Rick Remender and
how's that?
Deadly Class.
I've been reading that.
Talk about another one. This whole issue takes place.
Love that cover.
Cover's amazing, and if you like the cover, you're even gonna like the whole story because it's the kids.
What issue is it on?
This is number 5.
Okay, so it should be coming out in trade pretty soon?
Pretty soon.
Okay, I'm gonna wait for that.
It's all about the kids that are sent to a special school to become like assassins. And
why wasn't I sent there?
I don't know. I'm sorry, but these kids are fucked up, and because it's all seen through the eyes of one of the main characters, he took a bunch of acid last issue. So the entire issue is an acid trip.
That's awesome.
Meanwhile, he is about to, you know, sleep with a girl who has a boyfriend, and the boyfriend shows up also from the school to kill him.
Oh, nice.
It's fantastic, and they're in Vegas, worst place in the world to be on acid.
Circus. They got circus in there. By the way, everybody, don't go to circus unless you like want to get murdered. So.
Or don't go. Yeah, just don't go. Especially like it is exactly like in Fear and Loathing.
Didn't we stay at Circus?
No, absolutely no. We were thinking about going in there as a joke, and we pulled up and we were like, never mind, and we turned around. It was just so ghetto. And it's so funny because I see these signs around town that are like, bring your family to Circus. Shows these families having fun, and it's like, do not bring your family there. Like,
no offense to Circus. I'm sure it's a fine establishment.
No, don't go there.
How about Cyclopse comic? I've been interested in that. Tell me.
We both read the first issues. We have different opinions. Cyclopse, it's about the 16-year-old Scott Summers that
from New X-Men.
From all New X-Men, who got brought back from the past with the original 5. He decided to go off with Corsair and the Starjammers because Corsair's his dad.
Yeah.
And while the rest of the X-Men return back to Earth. And it's kind of a fun story because now Corsair is being thrust into the role of being a father.
Yeah.
While he's also established himself as, you know, the world's best, snarkiest, arrogant space pirate.
Yeah.
But
and he's got a hot cat girlfriend, Hepzibah.
Hot cat girlfriend. The Starjammers are awesome. But they're only really in the first issue. And the art's fun. It's by Greg Rucka. Greg Rucka does really good stuff. I actually kind of liked his last Punisher run. Not a lot of people did. He was also the author of Gotham City PD, which was fucking amazing.
Greg Rucka, I loved. He wrote Batwoman Elegy, which I really loved.
Yep. So I said it's cute.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed with it because I loved the idea of the concept, and then I read the first issue and I wasn't blown away by it. You know, it's like I thought it could be I don't know. I was expecting something a little different, maybe a little more tongue in cheek or something, you know. And it seemed more. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad.
Right.
You know, it's just.
Well, maybe we should stick with it a couple more issues and find out.
Well,
it's a father and son story.
Well, I feel like I don't know, the X-Men right now. I feel like they're having a hard time kind of figuring what they're doing. Like I'm having a hard time with really loving like what's going on in the X-Men. Like I feel like after Battle of the Atom, they've kind of lost sight of where they were going. And you were telling me that the new Brotherhood is back,
right?
And that Ray and I fucking Ray's like. You know, I mean, everybody should know by now
Reyes
that
is the offspring of Wolverine and Mystique.
So if Mystique wasn't annoying enough,
and if Wolverine wasn't overused enough,
we have
now there's a Mystique with claws.
Wolverine, we have a male Mystique with claws, you know, with healing factor and shit. So it's just like, god damn it, like fuck Reyes, get him out of here. I wish they'd just kill him like right off the bat.
Wait, so you don't like Mystique in the comics also?
No, I don't.
She's totally over
annoying me in the comics too.
But we're watching, grandson Xavier, who's evil Xavier, and Ray's kind of like time jumping and coming up with their plan to take down the X-Men. And they're like, of course we can figure this out, because if we ever fail, we just go back in time and let ourselves know that we fail, and we'll just do it differently.
Wait, how are they doing the time jumping?
I can't remember. I'm pretty sure because they got Hank McCoy.
Oh, they got evil Hank.
Yeah, future Hank with the one horn.
Well, he's not Dark Beast.
He's not Dark Beast.
There's Dark Beast, there's Evil Horn, geriatric
and there's
Beast.
a couple of reveals in it that kind of bummed me out and took away.
Whoa.
What are you looking at?
Whoa.
What are you looking at?
Storm number 1?
Yeah, I don't have that yet. But it's
going to be July.
Good.
Yeah, it's going in July.
Right.
All right, I'm interested. I hope it's good.
Yeah. But there's a couple of reveals in there I want you guys to read that I felt like took away from some of the main characters, villains.
This is in the all-new X-Men?
Yes.
Okay.
This is all-new X-Men number 28.
Yeah, I got to pick that one up.
Okay.
I'm a little behind, guys.
But there is a really interesting scene, because we see, Future Beast, and he's not all there, but there are like some spoilers, because he's been drawing on this giant chalkboard and talking about certain things that have happened and things that are going to happen.
When is Beast gonna quit fucking with time?
Never.
It's like, when are you gonna learn? Good or bad? Good Beast, bad Beast, Dark Beast.
Right.
Old Beast. Stop messing with time.
Stop messing with time.
You guys, stop. You guys are just messing it up.
What else? Oh, but talking about like Storm number 1, really good segue. We talked about this earlier. It might be in the episode before, because we might split this up. Marvel's been doing a great job again with doing like the individual titles with the superhero mixed with mundane. She-Hulk is still amazing. Where's Ms.Marvel?
Oh yeah, Ms. Marvel's over here.
Ms. Marvel came out.
Here it is.
It's number 4, and we're still dealing with the origin story. The art's awesome.
I like Ms. Marvel so much that when I read it, I feel like it should be like 20 more pages longer.
Yeah,
I'm always like disappointed. I'm always like, this is too short. I need more. This is so good.
So now you brought this up at the same time. If I liked She-Hulk, would I like Ms. Marvel too, you think?
I think so. Because as opposed to like the older career-minded female-driven title, now we have like the young coming of age, been very sheltered and still trying to figure out her place in the world. By the way, you now have powers.
Yeah. Right.
So the art's been really cool. I
really enjoyed that artist. They did a couple things on the Uncanny X-Force. I love the way the artist drew Spiral in that.
The dialogue is spot on. It's how kids talk today.
Yeah. No, that's something that I really enjoyed about this writing a lot. It seems, like you were saying, very contemporary, very now, very hip.
I'm gonna stick with this.
I love Kamala. I think she's a peach.
I love her family too. I love her whole supporting cast.
I know. Oh, and her older brother, her pious older brother, cracks me up, and her dad. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like if you have a family.
And it's painfully obvious that she's been super sheltered. She is. They make jokes like she's a nerd who writes Avengers fan fiction.
Yeah, she writes fan fiction.
Amazing,
so cute
video game reflexes.
So cute. Yeah.
And it's also fun because it's her putting together the costume for the first time, and it really is like a bathing suit and a fanny pack.
Yes.
And
hey, I love the fanny pack. I'm down. I have no problems with anybody who has a fanny pack.
So I'm really enjoying what Marvel is doing with like these solo-driven titles, just like Iron Fist. Like I said, we were talking about it. It's one guy doing everything. His art's amazing. We're kind of delving back into Danny Rand's past and how he came to the town or the ancient city that makes him a the Savage Dragon, or not Savage Dragon,
The
Iron Fist.
The Iron Fist.
Wow, sorry about that, guys.
Are you reading Savage Dragon too? Where did that come from?
No one's reading Savage Dragon anymore. I'm sorry, but like
Hey,
I said,
I'm reading Savage Dragon.
the art's
Yeah.
awesome. The art's just fantastic. And like I said, it's one guy doing everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really can't think of any other Marvel DC titles off the top of my head where somebody's writing and doing all the art.
What's
for it.
Batman up to these
well,
days?
he is doing that in
It
Savage
was
Dragon.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not joking. That guy's been writing
yeah.
and drawing that comic for 200 issues now.
Jeez.
Batman's still good. We're getting to the end of 0 Year. I'm not going to really
Man,
touch on
that's
it yet.
still going?
Yeah. I don't want to get into it yet. I want to wait until it's done.
Okay.
What else? Oh, I did read some other DC.
Did you're telling me Future's End. What's the deal with
Future's
Future's
End.
End?
What, Grifters in that from Wildcats?
Yeah.
Okay,
'Cause-
I've lost track of where Grifter's been.
No,
obviously.
they've been absorbed.
Right.
Also, DC also has Caitlin Fairchild from Gen 13 running
They have all
around
the,
here.
they got all the Stormwatch and Wildstorm characters when they did the new 52.
Although they only use
They absorbed
Grifter.
them.
I mean,
They only use Grifter.
I haven't seen any of the other characters.
A bunch of the Authority became Stormwatch, which is such a shame because the Authority was also a Warren Ellis comic crew that was ultra violent and amazing.
Yeah.
So you can't. I mean, when you PG-13 that team.
I know, it's just cutting the balls off them.
So we got Future's End.
What's Future's
Let's
End?
talk about Future's End for a second.
Tell me, what happens?
Weekly series. Weekly.
Weekly. Anytime I see weekly, I'm like, cash grab. That's what I think. Cash
It's
grab.
totally what it
That's
feels like.
Boy, they're usually not good because they're rushed out too fast.
Yeah.
And here's the shame. The writing team's awesome. Brian Azzarello, Keith Geffen, Dan Jurgens, Jeff Lemire,
I like Lemire.
Patrick Zurcher.
Yeah.
I want to get behind this. It's starring. It looks like the main character so far is going to be Terry McGinnis. He is Batman Beyond from the TV series. And then one of the few things that DC has done really well they've handled Terry McGinnis in the comics fantastic after the series ended.
Nice.
So I definitely am excited to read a weekly Terry McGinnis Batman Beyond. But what happens is he time travels back from his future, only he doesn't make it all the way back to regular DC continuity. It's 5 years after the fact.
Okay.
So technically this entire story that they're going to tell over a year is happening outside of regular DC continuity, which doesn't shake up any of the status quo.
Right.
Which isn't going to show any fallout.
Right.
Which is not going to show any repercussions
So
to the
there's
DC
no
universe.
point. But it's like a what if.
It's a giant what if.
It's a giant what if. Which,
And-
if that's, I mean, if it's good, that's fine.
That's
but
good.
but then again, at the same time, it's like, but it's not impacting the universe, so who cares?
Right. So I get frustrated with that. But at the same time, DC has always told great stories outside of
That's true.
their continuity.
That's true.
That's where their best stories shine.
So maybe, do you think this is going to be one of them, though?
I'm going to give it I'm literally going to give this thing about 12 issues. The story that they're trying to tell, I feel like cannot actually last 52 issues.
Oh, they're doing 52 issues?
It's a
year-long-
year-long thing.
Jeez. It's mighty
And
ambitious.
it's also bringing in a lot of characters that I was really excited about when.
That's a lot of cash to bring.
Dude, that's why I'm going 12.
Yeah.
It's also dealing with a lot of characters that when the New 52 started up, there were characters that I was really excited about, like Frankenstein, Agent of Shade. I was really excited about that.
And
I was
then it
excited
was-
for Grifter. I was really excited for the Authority coming into the DC universe as Stormwatch.
Right.
I was really excited about how they were going to handle these characters,
But
and I
then...
thought they were handled poorly.
Right.
I thought they were handled so poorly. And they had some really great concepts, but the art was falling flat on its face. There was no trading up of it. Animal Man was really kind of like what I was reading, Swamp Thing, Justice League Dark.
Yeah.
And it all kind of fizzled out.
I was reading all three of those, and all three of those fizzled out pretty hard for me.
I feel like this is them going like, well, we had some really good concepts and ideas. We didn't handle it right then.
Right.
Maybe we can bring them into the storyline and handle it better now.
Is Justice League Dark in this too, or are
They reference
Are
it.
they
I don't
already
know.
done? Is that title still going?
I don't know. I want it to still be going.
It's like such a good concept.
It's an awesome
It's such a good concept, and like I don't know. It's like I love it. I love it when this also happened in Uncanny X-Force, but it's like you see it when they bring in a really weird character, and and you get excited because it's like, oh, Shade the Changing Man. Oh, that's fucking
That guy,
weird.
he's a fucked up character.
That's
I can't wait to see what they do with him.
All right, and same with Spiral in
Yeah.
Uncanny X-Force. Oh man, that's gonna be awesome. And then they just don't do anything with them, and it's just this big letdown. You're just
Right.
like, oh, why did you? It's like if you guys can't do it, then just don't do it. Like don't
I don't know. Don't force it.
I don't know. Don't force it. Don't force it.
And then another DC thing. I think this is worth talking about.
Oh, you've been doing Batman 66?
Yeah.
Nice.
The
Meets
Batman
the Green
60
Hornet?
The Batman 66 series has been great. And then this is a team up with Dynamite Comics. It's Batman 66 meets Green Hornet. And it's written by Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman.
Wow, that's awesome.
Is this a comic of the old TV series? Is that
Yeah,
the
they
idea?
continue in the adventures. And everyone is drawn exactly the same. The dialogue is straight out of the TV show, and you can't help but hear Adam West's voice.
I wonder if Adam West reads this at all.
I hope so,
Yeah.
because this is keeping his legacy alive, and it's so kitschy.
Yeah.
It's it's thick lines, and it's
It's kind of drawn like that Archer show.
Yeah,
totally.
yeah,
He looks like
definitely
Archer.
reminds me of that.
Like there's Alfred from the TV show.
That's awesome.
And it's really, I'm sorry, I like it.
Yeah.
A lot of people kind of don't dig it when Kevin Smith picks up a superhero again, but it's been a lot of fun trying to find. You got Robin the Boy Wonder, and they're talking to each other like, "Oh, Bruce, you need to give this to Batman right away," and it's really the bat suit.
Yeah. That's cute.
But then they do introduce Green Hornet and Kato, and there's some pretty fun stuff in it.
Yeah.
Wait, and Kevin Smith is writing that?
Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of fun.
All right.
And I think the last thing we'll talk about,
Original Sin.
Original Sin.
Oh yeah,
Marvel Comics.
I read the first one of that, but
Okay.
then I didn't keep going. Is it getting good? Is it fizzling out?
It's
What's
great.
going on?
It's Jason Aaron still, and it's gotten really dark. Of course, it's about someone who's killed the Watcher.
Right.
But now someone is running around with the Watcher's eyeball.
That's not good. That's
and
not good.
They've brought their A game as far as bringing in Z. I would even go to say Z-list characters and making them interesting again.
Like who? Who's Z-list?
This is this guy, the giant eyeball.
That's awesome.
He's Z-list. I hadn't even heard of him until they brought him into the beginning of the series. Dr. Midas.
Oh, is that Oubliette?
Oubliette.
Nice.
Dr. Midas. I haven't seen him in 20 years or something like that. It's definitely got Wolverine and the Hulk and all those guys.
Some Ant-Man action.
Yeah, so it's a whodunit. They're trying to figure out who killed the Watcher. There's a guy behind the scenes pulling the strings and sending the heroes off in certain teams that don't necessarily make sense to do investigating. Doctor Strange and the Punisher are like or in like a weird alternate universe.
Yeah.
Because they need the Punisher to do forensics on a bullet they found in that universe.
Oh, interesting.
There's another team of Gamora, Moon Knight, and Winter Soldier Bucky. They're in a spaceship doing another part of the investigation.
Interesting.
That's been really fun. Issue 3, something pretty gnarly happens at the end, and I am going to tell people to go pick it up. But spoiler alert, I'm just going to show you that picture. That's Bucky holding the Watcher's eyeball and holding the head of Nick Fury.
Nice.
Read the comic to figure out how they got there.
To find out what's going on, kids.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's
Yeah.
a scoop of the comics for this month.
So I tried
that you're
to
reading.
switch it up. There's still a lot of Marvel.
Oh, can I do a quick shout out?
Yeah,
Let
do
me
it.
do a quick shout out. I shouted this out on Twitter, but Weird Love. Again, it's in my stack downstairs. I don't know where the hell it is, but Weird Love. It is the same. You know how I've been reading those haunted horror comics where it's like I pick it up and it's IDW, but it's Yo Comics. There's this guy Chris Yo, and he, I guess, is an aficionado of older weird comics, and he's kind of put together all of these bizarre romance comics.
Oh, how cool.
And The Love of a Lunatic was awesome. I Fell for a Commie cracked me up. You Also Snore Darling is something.
I fell for a commie.
It was
a lot
so
of
good.
fun.
It's so good.
OMG, kinky,
It's
sick,
fun. It's fun to read these
bizarro.
because you're getting 50s sensibilities.
Yeah.
It's kind of like time traveling, just reading the writing.
I
how
know,
people are
it's so
thinking.
interesting to see. Like, there's even a comic in there about how women should be aware of the way they look in the back as well as the front, because you have to look just as if you have wrinkles in the back of your skirt and all this stuff, then people are going to notice, and like it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, some
it's
politically
ridiculous.
incorrect stuff goes on,
Really,
but it's
just
funny.
But it cracks me up. Like I
Is it
love
satire of the way we
So-
perceived like sex identity roles back in the day?
Well, I mean, it's not satire.
satire.
It's what it was.
It's what it
These
was.
are comics from then that are just showing you how fucking crazy it was.
Oh man.
They're so good. So I highly recommend if you're in the mood for something.
I mean, just look at this woman right here. Oh, and what must I do to get those?
What do you think, honey? Those blue eyeshadow. I love that blue eyeshadow is like, yeah. I love that blue eyeshadow is the quintessential horror makeup. That always cracks me up.
There's also Weird Science, which were also.
Oh yeah. I bought the this big compilation of Weird Science that came out. It's like a big hardcover. It's really nice, fancy.
Yeah, this is my favorite thing.
I got that for T-Bone because I know he's been.
This
I've
is
been
cool.
reading.
I don't know. I've really been getting a kick out of these old comics, and they're always like 2 to 3 pages. The stories are like 2 to 3 pages long, maybe 5 pages long. You know, it's not a huge commitment to read any of these.
No, but a lot of them have
these,
really good stories.
And let me ask you: are these new stories being told the old-fashioned way?
No,
or these actual
no.
reprints?
These are old stories.
That's amazing.
Originally
they
printed on
found.
newsprint. Like
Yeah.
it says there's a page in the front that says, for people that have some of these original issues that we has lost, please send it in so we can get scans of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
some of these
wow.
are so old they've
Yeah.
lost the stories.
Yeah, and the thing is that I love about these is I don't know how the fuck it's gonna turn out, because the good guy doesn't always win in these. Sometimes it's the bad guy, sometimes it's the
I
good guy,
remember reading-
and their
yeah.
sensibilities are so different from ours that I really have no fucking clue how these things are gonna end. Like, and again, they're only like 5 pages
A lot of
long.
them have good Twilight Zone twist
Yeah, they're
endings.
like little twist endings,
They're
like
really
the Twilight
smart.
Zone. Yeah, totally.
I have
like,
I loved old EC Comics, and I also have a print of like one of my favorite bands when they were doing a concert. It's by the artist Coop, and Coop is awesome.
oh
Look
yeah,
him
yeah,
up.
yeah.
And he
Fat
did,
chicks.
yeah,
Curvy-
pretty much
curvy chicks.
curvy devil chicks,
Curvy devil chicks.
But he did this one like really sexually explicit piece where all the character design and even like the dialogue was straight out of EC Comics, and it's one of my most favorite things that I have in my
That's
apartment.
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, these old comics are cracking me up these days, man. I really get a kick out of them. So I would highly recommend picking up Weird Love #1. I think Weird Love
it.
#2 should be coming out, I think, either this month or next month. I don't know. Because it comes
It's
out bi-month. It's like
a
every 2
collection
months.
of like 10 or so stories, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not that many, but whatever. All right. Well, I think we covered a lot of exciting topics today.
Oh my
right.
God, who feels better?
Yeah, I know it's been a
I
while.
needed to do this.
I know it's been a while. We've had a lot of craziness going on here at 19 HQ, but we're finally kind
Oh
of
yeah, the cat tried to kill me.
Oh yeah. Oh.
We forgot the cat
Oh,
story. That should have been
God.
our opener, Kurt.
Oh,
we
Jesus.
needed
No,
an
let's
we
give
opener.
him a
blew
good.
it. We
Let's
blew
give him a
it.
good behind the scenes. What the hell's been going
Well,
on?
for
Yeah.
those of you who have stuck around, here's a treat.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should stick this in the beginning. It's a good
Whatever,
opener.
we'll stick it somewhere
All right.
where the sun don't shine. So Kirk was over at our place,
Yeah.
out on the balcony,
Yes.
having a smoke.
Yes.
We
I
were all
don't even think I was having a smoke. I was helping you move some equipment around.
Yeah, and so we're sitting there talking through the door, and then all of a sudden I see our Festivus pole fall down and hit Kirk right in the face. And I was like,
Right.
"What happened?" I
I'm
was
not-
like,
I'm
"How
not-
did that pole just fall?" Because it's
a
on
Festivus pole is a big metal pole.
yeah, it's a big
From
metal
Seinfeld.
pole
Right.
and it's on a base. It has a base. It like sticks straight up. Like it's not like just leaning against the wall.
But somehow your new cat walked by.
Now, for
Tripped
those
the
of you,
pole
for those of
and managed
you
to knock you in the
keeping
face
score
with
at
it.
home, it's June,
Yeah,
and I am outside, and the cat
the cat.
knocks over the Festivus pole,
Yes.
and it hits me in the face.
In the like right by his eye. Like it almost like if it had hit you in the eye, like you could have lost an
I
eye.
almost lost the eye.
Like you could have been Nick Furying it up right now.
Here's a Festivus
I
pole.
almost
Yeah.
lost
This is a violent weapon. You could kill somebody with
Yeah.
the Festivus pole.
Yeah.
Guns don't kill people. Festivus poles
And the thing
do.
is, ours
And you
is
got a black eye, a real.
A
I had a
black
black eye.
shiner.
It's still a
Do we
little
have a
bit
picture
there.
of that? Can we show a picture of that?
I
Is it
have
on
it.
your phone?
It's on my phone
We're
somewhere.
gonna have to put it in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
edit
you
it.
had
And
such a
even
good
the picture
shiner.
was a week
After. Yeah, I didn't even get to see
I
it when
had
it was
a
full
full-on
on.
black, and people ask me
Yeah.
like, "Did you get?" And I mean, the worst part, like my friends coming up to me going like, "Who do we have to beat up, dude?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
love
"Yeah,
that your
let me
friends
show
didn't believe you that a
Let
cat
me
did
show
it.
you the culprit.
Yeah.
It was a
It's
Festivus pole
A kitten
and a cat.
knocked over a Festivus pole, hit me in the eye in June.
Now,
It's not even Festivus right now. Doesn't even make sense.
and when it happened, I was in shock.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
I was so
saw stars, one knee buckled, and I literally went, "What the fuck happened?"
I was-
because it came out of
Well,
nowhere.
yeah, it's a heavy pole, you know.
Yeah, I was so
I don't know how the
embarrassed.
cat managed to knock it
I was
over, though.
so embarrassed. I was
She's
like,
got a big problem with knocking things over.
I
though.
know she knocked over my painting and it fell on this like
it's got a big
little
dent in your
dealy
painting
bob
now.
and it dented my friggin' painting
Let me ask you, were
already.
you anywhere
She knocks
near
over
it?
pictures. Like she'll
No.
jump on the counter and just
Okay.
knock
Safe.
pictures over.
Yeah.
That cat is turning into a real asshole.
Hey. hey.
Cats are dicks, dude.
She's like 7 to 8 months old. You know, it's like we were all dicks when we were kids. All right,
19. Your cat tried to kill me.
Kids are just crazy. They're chaotic. She's a little chaotic person.
She was ripping the fabric out of the stairs and I had a squirt gun at her. And, you know, this is the game we play where I squirt her, she runs away, and she keeps coming back just to taunt me. And, like, we're having a standoff in one.
Yeah, you're looking right dead in the eyes.
Looking her dead in the eyes.
Being
she
like, don't rip that carpet. Don't rip that carpet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then she just sticks her paw out like that and just touches it.
While looking
just to see what, just like to mock me.
While looking him dead in the eye, while she knows he has the water gun. Because she knows what the water gun means, you know. And then she got squirted and ran off promptly. So
she's just like... She's
testing.
Man.
She's testing.
Yeah, she's at that teenager phase.
She's getting there. I mean, she's I think she's like, I don't know, maybe like 10 or 11 in cat years or human years right now. You know, so
she's evil, man.
She's not evil.
I love that damn cat until it tried to fucking kill me.
She's not evil.
Story
Come
of my
on,
life.
guys. You know, T-Bone was trying to get her a shock collar.
Oh, dude, I've got 5 on it.
No.
That's a great idea.
You don't put shock collars on cats, you motherfuckers. Okay, that's only for stupid dogs.
It's the only way to protect the cat from...
Wow.
Just a visual aid while we talk about your black eye.
Yeah.
Now, all these people are people that your cat has beat.
Those are all Kufu victims.
This is it.
She's a sweetheart, you guys.
Is she threatening you? Just blink twice for yes.
Anyways,
okay.
she had her first big role the other day, and she did pretty good on set. I was really excited for her. A friend of ours was doing some stuff, and they needed a cat. And she did pretty good. I was really proud of her.
Good. You have a movie star cat now.
Yep.
All right. I think we should wrap this up.
Well,
there you go.
All right. That's it for Plopcast number 21. I'd like to thank old T-Bone and Captain Kirk for joining me here.
Word.
And hopefully
Somehow
we'll be
my
back.
hangover got worse during the filming.
Well, that's a great way to end. So we'll be back with 22, hopefully sooner rather than later. I think now things have settled a little bit. We'll be back.
Hopefully we're more efficient, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be a little bit more efficient about this. So hopefully we'll see you in the next week or two. We're looking forward to it. Break.
Thanks, guys.
Over now.